The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Freeman. Thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining Gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. It's about achievements, we'll unlock it. You can find show notes for this show, as well as previous shows, on our website, z2z.com. This is episode 104. You can also contact us with questions or comments on Twitter at Z2Z, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D, over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. So I'm getting a late start. I feel bad. I was doing a bunch of Christmas shopping today, getting in the holiday spirit, because, Proulx was trying to get Randy into it last week. Well, I got you, Proulx. I'm hooking you up. I'm full of Christmas joy. I am joined with Proulx. How are you doing, Proulx?
I'm doing Christmassy fantastic. I'm doing great. I'm doing
good. That's fantastic. And we've got another jolly old elf with us. Stushniken is in the house. How are you doing, Stushniken?
I am doing great.
Stu, do you dress up your pugs for Christmas?
I have. It's not a regular thing.
No.
Just two of them. One of them doesn't like to wear clothes.
Yeah. Do you ever, if you have to take a picture knowing the one that doesn't like clothes, do you put them in clothes so you know that they'll just be catatonic and not move?
Well, she's catatonic anyway. She never moves, man. She lays in bed, doesn't get up.
That's fantastic. Well, we're gonna chat with you a whole bunch. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We got a busy show, and I want to start the show by doing a bunch of announcements. We got a ton of things going on. Specifically, I want to do a quick review of episode 103 because I wasn't on it, but Proulx and Randy, I think, Randy's not obviously not on the show, but Proulx, you guys did a great job. I really enjoyed that, and I specifically, and I mentioned this in Discord, I want to commend Randy on his two reviews. His Cuphead review and his Agents of Mayhem review were very good. And Proulx, your follow-up questions were amazingly insightful and super helpful in determining what the hell those games were about. So much so that I went out and bought Agents of Mayhem today.
Oh, wow.
I still had a $5 one in my red box down by my house, and so I went out and picked that up for $5. Relatively easy completion. I mean, it's a grind, and I always have a hard time with those A's because I don't want to skip ahead in Assassin's Creed, so it's nice to have another single-player game sitting around here, but I really appreciated that, and I thought it was well-articulated. It very in-depth covered everything. It didn't drag on, in my opinion. It was entertaining. I loved it. Now, as far as the content goes for Cuphead, I mentioned 2 shows ago that I had played with my son, and then when Randy said no, it's actually easier single player. So I haven't played enough single player to determine if that's the case, but I can totally attest that while it's nice to have a safety net in a second player who can revive you, if that second player is constantly dying, it does not help you one bit. If they are not doing any damage output, it is not helping you one bit. So perhaps if I had and I don't want to say competent. My son is competent. He's just not to that level yet. That is a very intense game. We'll get there, but I wanted to chime in with that. The other piece of housekeeping I want to do is my game mashup. So I did last week's. I will do that here. So the game mashup, obviously, you take 2 games, put them together. The word in the middle links them. So last week's, for example, was the unholy merging of these third entries in the series would reunite the company that started the movement with the company that bought up a publisher just to get in on the action. I believe the lawsuits are settled out by now, so perhaps it's time to reach across the highway and hammer down on a cooperative jam. Now, Proulx, I don't think you actually listened to the show, so this is right up your alley. Do you have a guess on this one without looking at the answer?
I don't.
Because you weren't listening, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's mostly it.
I figured.
Yeah.
So, keywords, third entry in the series.
Right.
2 companies that don't get along, lawsuits. Reach across the highway, hammer down on a cooperative jam.
Oh, okay. So some, is it some sort of Halo?
No. That's a good one too. Highway, hammer down. I can see where Halo would come in.
You also said Reach.
Well, yeah, okay.
So
because they have to cooperate. That's why I said reach, like stretch across.
I get it.
Bipartisan thing. It is an ode to harmonics and Activision. The answer is Guitar Hero 3: Legends of Rock Band 3.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. That was clever.
So that's how, obviously, Legends of Rock Band 3, that's how they combine. So there you go.
Nice.
So that's what the mashup's all about. So let me give you week number 4. Here we go. This mashup is all about taking down blacklist targets, either through racing cars or curving bullets. Those targets will pay. So anybody out there who knows the answer, send it to my Discord. You can send me a private message. We'll see if anyone grabs that one. But that is mashup week number 4. Finally, we can talk about some random stuff here. We did have a mention here, and I think this would be fun to do as a community. So I kind of want feedback from people to let me know what we should do here, because whether or not Randy actually hears this when he edits, we'll see. I know he listens kind of now. But Skeptical Mario says, hey, why does Randy refer to games with epithets like Agents of Fun, Money Clicker, all those games? He's got these fun little names. So he wants to know that. We'll ask Randy that when he's back on the show, either next week or whenever. But he says, give him a lightning round where he has to make a bunch of them up on the spot. Which I think would be so much fun if we come up with a good list of like 10 or 15 and just see if he can, think quick on his feet. I don't know if he has it in him, but you pick some games that maybe push some buttons. I think we can get it going. But the real reason we're here is because we want to talk to the Rocket League champion. Not only did he take over the hosting duties of trying to get this thing up and running, because God forbid I have any time to do anything. Not only did he set it up and plan it with the help of Matriarch, of course. Thank you so much for her. But he also won the thing. So, Stu, let's talk Rocket League. How much fun was that tournament?
The tournament was a great time. I think everybody had a good time with it, except for a couple people had difficulty scheduling some matches.
That's true.
But other than that, everything went smooth. Everyone had a great time, I think. I had no negative feedback on it.
I didn't get any either. It was remarkably easy to set up those games, and I was surprised with how quick they went. Like, I felt like as we were getting into the, best of matchups, it was like all of a sudden it was done, and it's like, oh, man, like, I want to play this for another, 40 minutes at least.
Yep, right when we were getting into it, it was over. I think next time what we need to do is do it all in one go. I think a tournament that size would probably last 2 hours.
I think so, too.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I think so too. That would be sweet. Hey, I do have a question here from the audience, and it was from you might know this guy. His name's Big L, and he wants to know just how did you prep? How lucky did you feel having him as a teammate, Stu?
Oh man, I felt like the luckiest man on the earth.
No, perfect. He also has a question about who's better, Proulx or Stu.
Oh man, that's a tough one. It depends who you ask.
That's not true. Stu taught me a lot of what I know about Rocket League, so I will be very humble and say that he is much better than I am. But I will say that the actual correct answer is the third option, which is the Proulx-Stu team. Yes. And if you're coming against us, I think you're gonna run into some problems.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You will have difficulties.
Now, I asked him, because he put this on my friend feed. I'm like, hey, Dickweed, how come I'm not on there? He's like, well, we're already the best. Yeah, thanks a lot, L. I know that's not the case. Anyway, so have you given thought to, you mentioned a follow-up, trying to do it all in one day. Have you given a thought to maybe when you want to do this? You haven't really talked to us about it, but, when is the season right for getting another one of these going?
I think the season's right any weekend.
Always?
I could do this any weekend. But
I
was thinking, right around maybe Christmas, New Year's time, we try to get it going one night.
A lot of people have time off.
Yep, exactly.
New Year's, or even if that, if that doesn't work because of holiday, people doing stuff for the holidays, January is dead. Like, and nobody's anywhere for January, right? That's just a garbage
Yep.
month, except for those Australians. Like, I mean, technically they have summer; they might enjoy something, but
Yep, and I do have to say that it wasn't just me that won that tournament. I had L and Redemption Denied on my team, and they both played great every game.
yeah, and Redemption Denied won't have to worry about the GTASC anymore.
Well, you know what? I do feel bad because he took some time away from that to play the Rocket League with us, and that time he took, he probably could have squeezed out another 150,000 TA the way he
Have you seen the standings so far on that?
It's insane.
So he's currently in third place today, but barely. I mean, he's only down by 3,000 TA, but he's already put up. And so that we're recording on Friday. There's still a day and a half left of this. And he's already put up 70,000 gamer score.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And his gamer score right now is ahead of Jive Bot UK. Right now is in the lead with some. His ratio of achievements here is insane. He's got 64,000 gamer score, but he's got 164,000 TA. So that's like that's almost a 3-to-1 ratio of the achievements he's preloaded. Death is Land is number 2, 74,000 gamer score, just only 3,000 TA in front of Redemption, who's in third. I mentioned the top 10 at the end of the last show, so obviously the other guys, 4 through 10, like, hey, awesome job making the top 10, but you have found 3 of the premier preloaders. Like, these dudes have set up for this, and Jive Bot and Death, they both still have teams alive. Right, so they're battling it out for the team battle as well, which is absolutely insane right now. Currently, Team UHH, because you got Jive Bot and Daniel JJ, Triple Try. I mean, those guys are all like huge into the UHH. They're still cruising, and then the Gods Reborn, Death is Land's team is going nuts too. But Redemption doesn't have a team. Like he's just doing the solo contest. He doesn't have a team. So he hadn't tried to help them out all year. He's just been doing his solo thing. So good luck to the rest of this. By the time,
hey,
oh, what's up?
We're coming to the end. Obviously to the end, but to the start of next year's. That's correct. Yeah, registration's probably going to open up here. Not next week, maybe next week, but certainly the week after, right before Christmas. It should be open and ready to go to get in on the 2018 contest. I've talked to Planting about it. There are some changes coming. Big changes?
Exciting changes. I'm not going to say anything because I haven't seen it official yet.
You already did. You already said something just then.
No, about what the details are. Because the details are really exciting. And I hope he pulls the trigger on them, but they are radically different to what he wants to do. So that's why I'm not sure if he's going to or not. But they're radically different, and it sounds great.
Interesting. I was actually just asking Fream because I'm curious. Are you planning on just kind of sticking with the team you already had? Do you have a plan at all? I have no idea what I'm doing.
Who is my team? Oh yeah, the other hosts.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that team's gonna compete again next year. So I guess I'm kind of a free agent, but that being said, I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
I heard it was 2-man teams this time.
That's a good. I think that's what the plan was, and perhaps if the other changes go into effect, it might be. I'll give it a shot. I'll sign up, but I'm saying this now, super casual. But it's a contest. It's through the site. Of course, I'll continue to score achievements and continue things. Stu, are you going to get in on this?
I probably will. I did last year for the first time ever and had a good time with it.
I mean, of course, none of us have a realistic shot at winning. So, we all go into it just saying, yeah, let's just have some fun and see how far we can go. And of course, then in April, June, August, I'm still having fun. Shut up. I'm still having fun.
I'd like to be like you say, I think
October is, I would say, it would be a serious competitor, but not I could win it all kind of thing.
Yeah, if I make it over
the summer,
6-7 months, yeah, I think I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Our team goal last year was to make top 50, and we did that. So we were all pretty happy with that.
Yeah, nice. Well, you had Smitty on your team, right? And
yep.
Who else?
Big L, Michelle.
Big L, Michelle. Oh,
and,
Fart Barf. Hey, I actually heard that is a band name.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
So I
really,
heard
that's-
somebody mention it, like, oh yeah, Fart Barf's great. And they're like, oh, you got to listen to them. They're fantastic, hilarious, or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, that's where that came from.
It is.
So
But
there
yeah,
we
and
go.
we
All
also
right.
had Toadstyle Venom on
That's
our
right.
team.
That's right, Toady. Awesome. Yeah, I'm curious about. So yeah, keep your eyes out for signups. Those are definitely coming up. So that's finishing, and the UHH is finishing. Well, it's finished, right? I mean, it's done. Technically, it's still not like the time limit is not over, but Jam Pound got all 20. Jam Pound 32, all 20. Matthias Anderson 19. And if you enjoy drama, contest drama, might I direct you to the forums for the UHH, because during the week, Jam Pound sent Matthias a private message saying, "Congratulations on your win. I can't beat you." And then sneakily beat him. And now I believe it was one of the guys that he had to go. He had surgery or something planned, but that surgery got canceled and moved. Maybe I'm mixing up my competitors, but anyway. So then Matthias is calling foul because it's like, what the hell, man? But I'm pretty sure he did the same thing literally the week before to Christoph, or maybe 2 weeks before to somebody else, saying, "Hey, congrats, I'm not playing anything," and did all of it on Saturday. And beat him because the other guy went to 16 and was like, yeah, I got this. He's got 0. And then Matthias went and did all 20 on Saturday. So he's kind of pissed, but he kind of did the same thing. I don't know. The drama is always rich with this contest, but it's over. Congratulations to Jam Pound 32. He beat Chin Doctor last week, so, if Chin Doctor's going out, go out to the champ, right? So that's not so bad. So congrats on that one. I want to circle back because I don't think I'm going to consider this a formal announcement. Keep your eyes peeled on the Z2Z forums, forum.z2z.com, for the next Rocket League tournament. It is coming up. I think we can agree, Stush, that it should be a one-day tournament.
Absolutely.
And we're going to go nuts with it. Have some fun. Random teams again? You like that?
I do like that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Seems to be the only fair way, right?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Then we're locked up. Okay. Great. Let's talk. I mean, this is a gaming talk show. Let's talk about some gaming, and we'll start with Stush because you're our guest, our esteemed guest. Let's talk about maybe a win of the week, some of the fun things you've been up to. What have you been enjoying playing this past couple of weeks?
The past couple of weeks, I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Origins. Finished that up late Sunday night, I want to say.
Now, when you say finish, is that a game completion or just the story?
That is a game completion.
Hell yeah, nice work. What number,
Thank you.
what rank were you on that one?
Oh, I don't even know.
Was it real high? Is it a relatively
Yeah.
high completion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it took me, 60 hours. But I'm really slow at things. I leave it on pause a lot and go do random stuff. But I had 60 hours into that game in about a week and a half. Very enjoyable game.
Now, you picked up an X, right?
Yes.
And?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
That's great to hear.
It's a pretty game.
It's beautiful. It's
now-
the best looking game I've played on the X so far.
Okay, that's
I
what
was
I
going
was
to
going to
say
ask.
that's what we've been hearing. And so have you played other 4K titles and
Yeah.
Origins is the one right now?
Yep, I have I want to say 13 titles that are Xbox enhanced.
Okay.
I've ran through all of them just looking at them. I haven't played a whole lot of them.
Sure.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed blows them all away.
Okay, cool.
That's nuts. That's awesome.
It's a beautiful game, and it's fun. They changed the combat around a little bit. It's more like Dark Souls than it is like Assassin's Creed. So I spent about half the game pushing the wrong buttons.
Are you trying to do counter dodges or counter attacks? Yeah, I hear that like just really throws people off. That it's not really a waiting. It's become a waiting to strike or identifying a move set versus just blocking and countering. And so, traditional Assassin's Creed fans are like, "Hey, what the hell, man? This is an Assassin's Creed game." But others who are maybe new to the series or whatever, like, it's really engaging because it's kind of a little bit more active.
The way to do it is just put it on easy and mash buttons. That's what I ended up doing.
Then, huh?
No difficulty achievements. So I got a little bit frustrated with hitting the wrong buttons and just switched it to easy and went through the game.
That's smart.
I'll give you guys a tip. When you go into tombs, there's going to be yellow glowing things. Collect them. If you don't, at the end of the game, you will be going back into all the tombs, collecting them so you can unlock the last location. And it sucks. So,
going back sucks, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you're in those tombs the first time, look for those glowing yellow rocks. I can't remember what they're called, but you need 50 of them at the end to get them.
Perfect. Well, that's a good tip. Awesome.
I also played just a lot of random games for the random to-do list, but I get stuck on games and just end up playing them to the end instead of moving on to the next random achievement.
I wish I could do that.
I was playing that Broken Swords game last night.
Right. That's a point and click, right?
Yeah. This game, I'm playing it and I get the achievement Notorious PUG. And, I got pugs. So I'm like, oh, this is great. This will be my win of the week, getting this achievement. Well, anyway, in the game, the way you get that achievement, you got to click on 10 things in this dude's apartment that have pugs on it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to play along with him. I'm going to look around my house and play. So I'm counting along. I got my 3 pugs laying there. I got my 2 pillows with pugs, a blanket, a deck of cards, random stuff. Well, then this dopey main character of the game starts making fun of the guy for having all this pug stuff.
Boy.
It's like he's making fun of me. And it's a point and click. I can't make the guy jump off a cliff, so now I got to deal with this jerk making fun of me, busting my chops all game.
Oh, man. So it's become the spite of the week.
Yep.
Now, that image background, though, has that become your new desktop or your Xbox background image?
No.
What is your Xbox background image?
It is actually a Yankees logo.
Oh, Yankees. Gross. Evil Empire.
I know, but...
Yeah, sports things.
Yeah, but you're not even from New York.
I grew up in New York. Yeah, I grew up in New York.
Up in Proulx neck of the woods? Racist part of New York?
No, in Buffalo, actually, even farther away.
Even further out there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Canada.
He's more Canadian. Yeah,
that's Randy country.
And I'm actually a little town like 90 miles south of Buffalo that nobody's heard of, so I just say Buffalo.
Gotcha. Well, so now you're out in the Carolinas, right? How the hell did you get down there?
Yep. Well, I moved to Arizona in my early 20s. And
yeah, I imagine, right? It's freaking cold in Buffalo. So it's like, I got to get out of here.
Yep.
I'm freezing my kneecaps off.
So I got as far away as I could. Lived in Arizona for 10 years. I loved it out there. And then had family that moved to North Carolina. Ended up getting my degree and wanted to come out to where the jobs were out here in Research Triangle Park area.
Makes sense.
Here I am.
So now, I mean, because you're a pretty avid golfer, right? I mean,
yes.
You get to golf can you golf year round in Arizona? It's pretty hot.
Yeah, you can though. You just in the summertime, you got to get out there early in the morning and bring lots of water with you.
Gotcha. And now, go ahead, Proulx.
I was just gonna say, I had we had our the company I work for, we had our holiday party today, and it was at Topgolf, which is literally the only golfing I've ever done except for mini golfing. So
is that like legitimate indoor golfing?
It's you know what I call it, and this is from somebody who has no idea of what actual golfing is like. It's like basically like making golf into bowling. Like you go, you have some drinks, you just kind of take a whack at it, even if you're terrible, and you have some fun. You get some points up on the big screen that they have there.
You're smashing it into like a big curtain essentially, right? And it shows digitally where it goes or anything. It's not one of those.
I think they're RFID chips, but they could be something else. But they're little chips inside the balls, and there are zones. So you're in this big building, and there's 3 levels, and you have different types of game types where you try to whack the ball into these. I guess they're just kind of giant holes in the ground, but the sensors know that you're the one that's hitting it and where you're supposed to try to hit it. So if you're supposed to hit it into the zone 4 or zone 3 or zone 2 or whatever, if you can hit it there, you get points for it.
Sure.
So it's for casual people like me who've never actually picked up an actual club. It's except for, like I said, mini golf. Of course, everybody's played mini golf. It's fun. It's actually super casual. So you can. Fun. It is. It's actually really, really cool.
Now, I have 2 questions for you. One is there video proof of this existing? Because I would love to see your backswing here. And
so I found out that you're supposed to point your toes. Was it your toes? I can't even remember now.
I can't wait.
In the direction of where you want your ball to go.
No,
it may be wrong. But it actually helped when I tried to do it.
I was gonna say, are you playing polo?
Oh, you got to get a video of this, Proulx.
No, you guys, seriously, it may not be available where you're at. I played it in Vegas as well earlier this year.
Proulx. I live in Minnesota. Like, we can't go outside anymore. Like, they have indoor hitting ranges.
No, well, yeah, no, I'm there. I think that it's kind of I guess if you're in a super cold climate, they probably aren't available. Like, it was 37 degrees today outside, and it was still comfortable.
Wait, it was outside?
Well, it's on like kind of an awning, like kind of a platform that extends beyond.
So you're actually whacking balls out into the world, and you're not hitting them into something?
Oh, yeah. There's a ginormous net, probably like a 5-story net at the back of the thing. Although I don't think most people can hit it that far.
I'm surprised.
Well, most people. I say most people. I'm sure there are people that can do it. But it's really cool. It's super casual. Like I said, there's a bar. You get some, some nachos.
Cocktails.
Yeah, and you go and like. Wow, I can't believe. I guess maybe it's probably pretty limited in its scope.
I've seen it online and have wanted to go to it, but the closest one to here is in Charlotte, which is like 2 hours away, and
that's
not worth it to drive for just that.
No, I imagine not. It's a lot of fun for casual people, and I even saw some people bringing their own clubs, which I didn't even know you could do. But it's cool. It's like I said, it kind of like makes the whole experience much more mainstream for people who, even playing like 9 rounds of golf, 9 holes, whatever it is. I don't even know. I was going to say rounds.
Like, so Stu, are you also like just trying to get him to talk more so that he tries to use lingo and fails? Because I am like setting all these traps. I want him to say, use fairway in a sentence. I want to hear rough and drive and like.
I just want to hear more tips like that, Gem, to point your toes where you want to hit the ball.
I know there are, there are probably 9 or 10 clubs in front of you that you can pick from, and I have no idea which one to choose, right? Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I just pick one, and naturally you're going to pick the biggest one because you want to hit it the farthest and the hardest that you can, right? Because that makes the most sense.
Always.
No, that's not the case. If the zone is closer to you, maybe don't use the one that is real big and
That'd
heavy.
Be a good idea.
Yeah. I hit it pretty far. Anyways, it's fun. Sorry.
One last thing.
Derailed.
You tell me you at least took one drive, Happy Gilmore style.
From
where you did a running start and smashed it. Like, come on. I'm saying you got 2 or 3 drinks in you. Like, that sounds like a great idea.
I didn't do it specifically, but one of the reasons that I compared it to bowling is because, like bowling, where you have this, like behind where you bowl, you have this seating area. It's the exact same situation. So there's this, I guess is it a T? Is that what you call it? There's the green and the T. Yeah. So that's where you hit the ball from. And like right behind that is where everybody just sits and has their drinks and eats their chips and stuff. And so I wouldn't really make sense because I think you'd have to walk up some steps or something in order to get up to that level.
I'm not saying like you're running 30 feet. I mean, it's like a 2 foot run. Like if you say it's like bowling, I mean, in your bowling you have a backswing. Like I stand at the top of the steps and I take about 3 or 4 steps because when I throw a bowling ball, it's like a fast pitch softball. Like I get air on mine. I land about halfway down, and it's all about collateral damage for me. It's about throwing 20 miles an hour, getting a relatively light ball, and just going nuts. So there's a runway. I mean, I get a bit of a walk up. I bet you could do that in your little golf. I don't know.
I think maybe you're misremembering how far. I feel like Happy Gilmore ran a good 7 to 8 feet before he hit the ball. But
That's just for the movie. It just looked bigger in the movies.
Yeah, it might be the case.
So next week, we're going to have Proulx explain how to play baseball. So you look forward to that. It'll be great. Let's head back over to Stush. What else you been up to?
As far as gaming, not too much, really.
How is your random to-do list going? Do you feel like you're? I mean,
terrible.
It's been pretty. It's been pretty good for the community as a whole. A lot of people earning a lot of achievements. Are you on that list?
No, I am not.
Tough list this time, or because you get sidetracked, you can't?
I get distracted. I start doing random stuff other than the random to-do list, and I usually score around 1,000 points a month. So I don't do terrible, but I don't. It's
like 3 or 4 achievements, right? Or probably maybe a little more. What, 6, 7 achievements?
I pick from the bottom, so yeah, it's like 7 or 8.
There you go. Nice. That's awesome. Well, let's move over to Proulx. Proulx, what have you been up to? Win of the week, some gaming. What's been your go-to this week?
So, we finished Left 4 Dead 2. I
heard. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Congrats.
Yes. The Left 4 Dead boost has been going for quite a while. Honestly, it felt kind of like the most disposable boost in terms of priority. There's a lot, like we spent weeks. Oh, well, I can't show up this week. Okay, that's fine. We'll just take it off and blah, blah, blah. That sort of thing. From the start of the Left 4 Dead 1 boost all the way to the end here. So it was really nice to get it done. We got both the games done, all the DLC, and that's actually, the TA is real solid on it. It felt real good to get it done. So
I bet
that was definitely the win of the week, which allows us to move Wednesday on to a different game. Talks are, we're in talks now for what that is. Probably very likely to be Borderlands, which is good because that's kind of what I wanted to move on to. So that's definitely my one of the week. Other than that, I've been really focusing on random to do stuff.
Sure. Hey, before you move into that, now that talk for the new game, that's kind of New Year type stuff, right? You take some time off before the end, or are you guys really talking about starting right away?
No, I think we'll probably start right away. I don't think there's any reason that we would have to delay that. I know there's some talk about
the Thursday crew.
The Thursday crew,
Plants vs. Zombies on the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that crew that started on the 1 is moving. Okay, yep.
I think so. What it seems like is Thursday started with Titanfall for boosting and lasted for, I don't know, I think 15 years or something close to that. Yeah, so
they're still playing it.
That's true.
Yeah, Fufu and Stan you're doing some.
It's true. So I think after Titanfall and then now through Plants vs. Zombies, people just kind of it's just too much. The giant boosting it's kind of a bit heavy for some people. So it sounds like what we're going to do is take a break from the ginormous boosting Thursday group until we find the new game that we want and until the next year. I really like the idea now that based on whatever competition's going on, random to do obviously will always be in the background, but maybe there's a UHH, maybe there's something else. Just kind of having Thursday open for a lot of people who are really active to do random achievements, just to do random boosting. Hey, I need this one achievement in this one game. Is there 3 people that can help me?
Yep.
Stush, we were just talking about Castle Crashers today, that sort of stuff. And I really like that idea. And if we never go back to a ginormous boosting group of 12 people, and just kind of have this open sort of thing for people who are available, I'm cool with that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, a party you just hop into, ask for help, and there's people there.
Yep. And which, of course, a perfect way to kind of push people into the looking for group part of the Discord chat, because there are people that are willing to help almost all the time, no matter what you need. So check that out. Wow, how did I get off on this? Fream, what did you just ask me? Why did I start talking about this?
Talk about moving the boost. And then you're like, I've been focused on my random to-do list.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So, yes, random to-do list. I've been mostly focusing on that recently. You know what? The L and the L/Elroy, or however you want to say it, segment really motivates me.
What the L with the RTDL?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think it's super motivating. And last week they mentioned me as an honorable mention. I think I was number 6. That was awesome. It was so I loved seeing Elroy's his text when he would come in from week to week.
Yeah,
and that was already motivating. Now that it's part of the show and he's reading it out and there's this back and forth, I really love that. And it's
fun.
Yeah, it's super fun, and it helps me to focus and be like, yeah, I want to hear my name there. I want to see what kind of silly puns they're coming up with this week or whatever they're doing. It's great. So that's kind of what I've been mostly focused on, other than really the two things I've been focusing on is random to-do list and, of course, the TA 12 Days of Christmas challenge, Fream, which I think maybe you may know a little bit about.
I got some ideas on how that goes.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love this challenge. It's been one of my favorite ones so far, and I know we're only 9 days in at this point. I'm loving it, and I'm trying to stay on top of it. Like, I think I'm 4 or 5 out of the ones from technically yesterday.
Sure.
I'm having a blast with this. I signed up 2 of my friends. Like, just do this. This is great. You have the whole month if you need it, and it's just for fun. It's not super serious, but it motivates you to do these sorts of things. So I've played like 12 different games today trying to do
number 7.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm interested and kind of a little scared, because I thought by now we would have had 3 new games, but it's not. We haven't hit that yet. That's what I'm most worried about. I feel like it's coming. It may not at all. But anyways,
I mean, that's 7's kind of that way. It could be a bean dive.
It could be. But anyways, I'm loving both of those competitions because they get me to go back and clean some stuff up and have some fun doing it. And those green check marks, just like achievements, it just triggers that same part of the brain where I'm like, yes, I'm done with this day. I'm ready for the next one. So that's mostly what I've been playing.
Nice. Anything in particular there that's been fun or cool that you want to talk about, or just that you are caught up? Hey, you're not doing that crazy stuff that the rest of the community's doing, where they're trying to go backwards and doubling up and doing all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. I'm not.
So they're doing it like the actual song. So the day 1, you finish a game. Day 2, you get your 2 verses and finish a game. Day 3, you get your 3.0s, 2 verses, and finish a game.
Okay.
Chindakta, Kushmoose, Tominator. I know those guys are working on it. I don't know if anyone else joined on there, but like I hear that, I'm like, you people are insane. That's 12
Crazy.
Completed games. 24 verses. 9 times 12, 36 3.0 ratio or greater if you do the whole thing.
It is crazy. I didn't even know they were doing that. That is insane. Yes, that is crazy. I will say that I do think that if there is a similar competition next year, it should be reversed, but not in the way that they're doing it. Just you start day 12 on day 1, if that makes sense. On the 1st of December, you would start with the 12th day, just because it's more in line of, I guess, the spirit of the song or whatever. But so you start with 12 things, blah 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 blah, and then you go down the path. It also gives people more time to. I don't know what day 12 is going to be. I don't know if it's just 12 achievements or what they've done, but I would imagine it would make it a little bit easier to swallow if you had more time to do the bigger, the things that required more, if that makes sense.
So I'll tell you what it was going to be, what I wanted it to be, but then it wouldn't work because we are cross-linking it with true trophies. But I wanted it to be a 12 achievement completion, so essentially an XBLA game. But Rich thought that that the new, like the ACA Neo Geo games were the only new Xbox One games that have 12 achievements these days, because everything else is kind of random. So without forcing people to buy things, he's like, let's switch it up. So that's not what it is anymore. But I didn't, I tried to think of something that might be a little bit trickier. But no, I will say that because of the feedback that we've been getting, the community events team through this and everything on the forums has been overwhelmingly positive. And it was overwhelmingly positive for the Alphabet Challenge. And that people are clamoring for more of these kind of single-player competition things, these just for funs, these quirky, goofy things that are happening, that Rich is really excited about doing this more frequently. So I've already pitched an idea for, a sooner contest. I've already received a little bit of pushback, but I'm on top of this. I hear all of you loud and clear that this is fun and we want to do more of this. So keep your eyes peeled on True Achievements for whatever comes up in the near future. But yes,
now, Fream, real
12
quick.
Days of Christmas is great.
One quick question for you.
What's up?
So this show is going to come out on the 13th of December.
Yep.
Maybe you could, if Stush and I promise not to tell anybody, maybe you could give us a little sneak peek of one of the days. Just tell us what's coming up, maybe.
By the time this comes out, everyone will hear everything, right?
Well, everybody will already know it. So you can tell us now, and we might have a little bit of an advantage. Like say, 11 discontinued, blah, 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 blah.
It's funny to read the forums and because some people have guessed already. Like I know the eight co-op achievements that was today's, that already came out, and I've already seen that posted by a couple of people, and I was like, oh man, you're killing our thunder. And then somebody said 5 diamond achievements, and I was like, God, you punks! That's exactly what it is. And so because. Again, keep in mind the contest is running in parallel with True Trophies, so some of those Xbox-centric things don't necessarily work, but anything that crosses over does absolutely work. So, maybe I can give you guys a little tip later, but we'll see. So anyway, are you you wrapped up there, Proulx?
Yeah, other than that, I mean, it's really just a shotgun of different games I've been playing for these two sort of random achievements or achievement competitions. It's been super fun. Nothing to go really into other than finishing out Left 4 Dead, and just been a good solid week.
Perfect. Stu, you had something you wanted to add there?
Yeah, do either you guys think Chin or Koosh or Tominator will finish this challenge doing it their way?
Good question.
So they have all month to do it. I do think. I mean, to be honest, though, Chin. Well, I guess I don't know what his Christmas affinity is, whether he'll have any time off because he is in Australia. But that dude's been doing all of them the day of. So
he's crazy.
He's nuts. Koosh is battling. He's doing his best.
Koosh has said he only had enough to get through a few days, so I don't think he'll do it. Tominator, I don't know him well
He's
enough.
Been quiet. He's been quiet.
Yeah.
He'll kind of come in and be like, hey, yeah, I got it. But then, then that's kind of it. And it's like, so I don't know. Yeah, he's the dark horse.
I think if anyone can do it, though, it's Chin, man. 4th place in the UHH. This guy
I feel like he'll have it done on day 12.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I'm still stuck on the 5 rare.
Really?
Yeah, like I said, I get sidetracked.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we touch on what I've been up to? You haven't heard from me in a couple of weeks. So let's just talk about some of the highlights. Of course, the highlights have been Random To-Do List and the 12 Days of Christmas. Prior to that, though, I was finishing out the month of November playing a lot of XCOM Enemy Within. I love XCOM, and so I'm finally going back and doing this one. Now, I can't complete Enemy Unknown. I have like 3 achievements left, and it's, beat the game on Classic, beat the game on Iron Man, beat the game on Impossible or whatever. It's like, nope, I don't have the patience for that. So jumping back into Enemy Within has been wonderful because I can play on easy again and just go and mob through zombies. Technically, there are zombies from those chrysalid things, but sectoids, and I just love this game and having all the new bits and bobs with augmented characters and mechs, and it's just great. Just great. So I'm excited to, keep chipping away at this thing and then move on to XCOM 2, which is sitting there waiting for me. As far as my achievements for the Christmas challenge, well, on my finished game, I finally got Q-Bot off the table. I've been just kind of milking that for an achievement every now and again, usually for if I need colors. But I had 2 achievements left on that one. Just finally finished that up. I actually tried to do it one night before, but I was super drunk and it was hard to read the left, right, ups and downs. And so I stumbled for about 2 hours trying to do it, and I'm like, nope, this is not going to happen. So I'll finish Q-Bot and then started Runbow, that Games with Gold title where, it came right after Speedrunners. But Runbow is, it reminds me of that game like Hue or Color Symphony where you change the background color and it makes blocks and stuff disappear. And it's just kind of like a black and white Bushido, one-screen arena brawler type thing. Seems like a pretty easy completion, though. I only got two achievements for my verses on that one. And then for my high ratios, playing a lot more Plague Inc. Evolved. So after you do a bunch of you unlock all of the things, then you kind of have because the thing has 164 achievements to it. So once you unlock all the diseases, you can kind of just hand pick any of those 164 you want to go for. Now, some of them are randomly generated, but really the walkthrough on TA is outstanding for setting up scenarios that give you a high probability of getting those achievements. So high ratio, lots of them there. And the individual games take like 10 minutes. I mean, they don't take long to do. So you're always maybe 10, 15 minutes away from achievement. So those of you streakers, looking to preserve streaks or whatever, that's a great game there. Or, if you get to a leapfrog scenario, there's another good one there about increasing your ratios. Noel, spelling Noel. Somebody pointed out, because it was very apropos, I got 3/4 of my word Noel from LetterQuest. I actually went and just found some letters. They're real easy, but one of those was on my random to-do list, so that's kind of why I picked it off first. And then I unlocked the letter E from Enigmatis 2, which crosses off a gamertag challenge E that I needed. And then finally, so I was sick on Wednesday. I had worked like 12 hours and got home, and I'm like, oh, man, I feel nauseous. And sure enough, had a fever. And that same night, my wife drove over a razor blade, and so her tire was shredded. And so I was like, you know what? I feel like garbage, and you need a car, so I'm not going to work today. Now, thankfully, I was able to work from home. I did work from home by playing Gone Home.
How much?
I played Gone Home, and I completed Gone Home, and it turns out so I needed 6 achievements, and 5 of those 6 achievements were rare, and it was great. I did the speed run, which is surprisingly a huge pain in the butt. Trying to do that game in 1 minute, that took me more times than I feel comfortable with.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I did kind of the rest of the mop-up things about finding all the journals, doing all the journals in 10 minutes. I had a nice rhythm. It took me my second try to get that one. But what I wish I could actually spend the time and listen was the director commentary. Was so interesting. I like just listening to all the people at Fulbright talk about what they put in the game and all the inspiration and why they put this there and what this was doing over there and these characters and this. It was fascinating, and I was like, man, if I wasn't in such a rush, I would totally listen to all this. That was a cool little piece added in, and I appreciate that they made an achievement out of it because it makes you, forces you to go do it. And so, good on them for that. It was a cool game. So that's a completion as well. Finally, I also, for my random to-do list, played a little Turn On. Had that's that little spark of electricity that travels through. I had one getting 3 lamps on one of those fast grid-based levels. Oh, those are the worst. I had to try that thing over and over and over about 10 times before I got that one. Those things suck. And then Shovel Knight. So I played a bunch of Shovel Knight. I had a random to-do list for... The main one I had to go for is getting halfway through the game. So beating 4 of the 8 night bosses. And this game is outstanding. It is very much a throwback, like 8-bit style. I mean, it really reminds you of like a Mega Man type, 2D platformer. But it's melee combat. And what's beautiful about it is it plays exactly like you remember an old Nintendo game playing. So like your guy is relatively slow. The jumps are often very consistent. The mechanics involved with your shovel and your down strike or hitting enemies and doing things, like, it is a remarkably well put together game and is so much fun. And then, so that's just your base level of gameplay, but the nuance that they add on top of it, some of the little variations to the themes, things that you would have never seen in an old Nintendo game, but they totally fit and add such a level of complexity and depth to the game that it is outstanding. One such thing is so one of your items you can use is a fishing pole. And so in the game, like traditional 2D platformers, there are pits, bottomless pits. Well, sometimes you'll see them like sparkling. And so if you get on the ledge and just throw your fishing pole into that little sparkling thing, you can pull up, gold. A gold fish counts as money, or you can pull up like a health potion or whatever. You get these random pulls. It's so much fun. It's like such a stupid little addition, but it really adds to the whole aesthetic of the game and a depth of complexity that's really cool. And then, the dialogue, and, it's funny, and it's so charming. So I love Shovel Knight. And it's actually not as difficult as I thought it would be.
It's a game I've always wanted to play.
Yeah, I totally recommend it. And they have those 2 great expansions, the Plague Knight and what's the other one? I forgot. There's a Spectre Knight. Those 2 expansions, I mean, it essentially triples the game, and they're free. They're free expansions. So Yacht Club Games they did a great job on that. I'm excited to continue to play that one. But my win of the week, guys, the win of the week, finally, it took me 14 months to do it. Microsoft Solitaire Bronze.
Ooh.
I don't know what happened, but why, when my phone switched over to 2018, it was like, oh, we're just going to erase all your data. So I had to play the whole stupid year over again.
Oh, man.
And finally, now in December, 5 days in, I got enough credits to get the stupid bronze medal for the 12th month in a row. But it is over. I finished it. Now I'm just looking at 50 spider games and some way to play the stupid Star Club. And that'll be it for that game. It's been 14 months in the making, but
I'm right behind you, Fream. I think I probably have 2 more days. Probably by the end of this weekend, I will have the completion on that.
Get good,
as well.
scrub.
Hey, you don't have the completion yet. I'll still probably beat you.
Oh, you definitely will beat me. I'm just saying. I got the bronze medal in 5 days. You gotta get those full out. And I did
the silver one. This is the one I'm missing. I already have the bronze one.
That's why it's taking me so long. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, let's quick jump into some of the news topics of the week. And I was thinking at the beginning of the week, since I've just been up to my eyeballs in work stuff and then being sick, I was like, I don't have anything to talk about tonight, guys. And then guess what? The Game Awards happened. I totally forgot I was on last night, but I kept seeing all the Mixer stuff pop up. Did you guys log into your mixer to get that mix pot going, because they're giving away stuff. I don't know what it is. It's probably garbage, but it's free.
I did. It was Goat Simulator.
Again? I feel like we already got that.
Well, that was the Games with Gold. They gave it away.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
For the mixer, too. And they also gave away something for Forza 7. And I don't remember what else.
I should
basically nothing good then.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Give me my mix pot, man. All right. Well, anyway, but it was fun to watch. So let's. Yeah, I think at least I know I watched it pretty much live. Probably about 50% of it, 60% of it live. I had to lay the kids down to bed and go do some other things, so I missed little bits in here and there. But one thing I want to just say, kind of overall, is I loved the whole presentation. I loved the honoring the games industry as a whole. I like the idea of having an awards show that, I appreciate that they take the whole thing seriously, but I also appreciate that they have fun while they do it. It looked like the people there wanted to be there, enjoyed the fact that so many people on the internet were watching and reveling in, the games industry and where it's going, and it seemed like a lot of fun. And I can think of one person who looked like they were having a ton of fun, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of the show overall?
I loved it. Right from the start, when that orchestra was playing.
I like the orchestra too.
Yeah, it was great. And I don't know if you watched it last year, but last year there were a lot of cringe moments, and this year it was really fun to watch.
It seemed a lot smoother, that they kind of ironed out all of those things. Now, this still had its cringe moments, because I don't know, Jeff Keighley the biggest struggle is you want to honor the games of the past, but somebody has to pay for that show. And so, okay, you pay for it by giving the current games a platform to make announcements and show new things, and that is what people stay and watch, which I love. I love the fact that that people have saved announcements for this. We'll talk about some of the announcements that were made. I was surprised by a lot of these announcements that came out. I hadn't heard anything about many of these, so they were really fun. Others are extended trailers of things that we maybe saw a teaser at E3, and then they save kind of a bigger reveal for this show. That's great too. And then you have some of those kind of little bit more cringy, this is a direct ad sale, and so I hope you like Rocket League, McDonald's, and eBay, because boy, did they very clearly pay for ad space, and that's fine, right? Again, you have, I want something like this to happen each year, so I understand that, yes, somebody has to foot the bill. I wish the commercials varied a little bit more. I didn't need to see the same Rocket League commercial 5 times, but it is what it is.
Well, I had problems watching it last night. It was cutting in and out really bad, so I watched it today without any of those commercials. So I missed all those.
That would be super nice. I bet. The other thing that was great is the fact that it was on the internet. Is they could swear. Now, that's not to say that I'm advocating swearing, that you need to swear, but I feel like that by letting people know that they're uninhibited, that you tend to get more genuine responses, and people are a little bit more forthcoming. And pretty much what everybody's talking about is Joseph Fares, the game designer for A Way Out. And his rant, it's not even a rant because it's relatively positive, but his spiel was absolutely brilliant. And I knew of this guy going into it. Now, he did, and if you're interested, you should take a look at this in the show notes or look it up on Google. He sat at E3 after they made the announcement for A Way Out with Game Informer, and Game Informer's host Ben Hansen had Tim Schafer and Greg Rice of Double Fine, right? Tim Schafer, right? The legendary Tim Schafer of Double Fine on the couch with Joseph Fares, and the three of them talked so candidly about video game development and how things are going. And this guy, in hearing him from that first interview there, the level of passion that this individual has for not only his game, but for gaming as a whole, and the information he took from making movies and the film industry and what he wants to bring to video games, I am so excited for not only A Way Out, but even his next game that he just even teased as something so monumental that nobody's ever seen before, that he's not even sure he can get funding because it's so crazy. And that probably should scare me, the fact that it's so insane that he might not get funding. But I think he's bringing such a fresh take to this that I love that innovative thought, and like just hearing his passion. And it came out in this little interview thing here with where he essentially just started saying, "Hey, can I swear? Yes. F the Oscars and F, like, this is where it's at. This is amazing. You guys have to watch it. It is just brilliant."
It was great.
And I appreciated how much candor he had. And and again, that really kind of summed up the night for me of, it's a group of people together who they appreciate gaming. They know how much hard work goes into it, and they know that that the people who are sitting there making games are also consumers of the games, and the people watching the awards are consumers of the games. And all of these people, as a huge community, want the industry to thrive. They want new, exciting games. They want everybody to be successful, and it felt like that. I got that vibe from him when he was talking. Like, this is what's great. There's no, and I'm sure there's competition, right? I know Sony and Microsoft, and I'm sure Microsoft was sitting there saying, "Hey, more Nintendo stuff, woo!" Like, oh my goodness, like, I feel like half of Nintendo of America was there, and another 30% of Nintendo Japan was there. Like, that was a huge. I mean, even when they were doing the orchestra bit at the end with the Game of the Year stuff, and which was cool. Like, I liked that they're playing all the themes, or like a thematic song that goes with each of the nominees. And then when they got to Mario Odyssey at the end, all of a sudden this lounge singer lady comes out, and Mario gets lyrics on his. And then everybody in the stands in the front 7 rows puts on cappy hats. And so you've got this sea of cappies sitting there dancing while this crooning lounge singer lady sings the Mario jingle about run and jump and oh yeah, we're doing this. I'm thinking L.A. Noire, but less more jazzy, less sultry. So that was again, maybe I'm sure Nintendo, because they put some money toward marketing, that they got front and center stuff. But they had let's be fair, they had a great year. So what do you guys think? Proulx, did you end up watching it at all?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't know. It's surprising to me to hear all of this sort of positive feedback.
You've been hearing negative?
Well, not of this year specifically, but in the years past, it's kind of always been roll your eyes, sort of nonsense and silliness. No, I'm glad to hear it. And in fact, when I had read the headline earlier on today about, game developer says, F the Oscars, and got everybody up in arms. I'm like, okay, well, okay. But I watched it. I watched that clip of it, and I'm like, hey, I can get behind this guy's enthusiasm and his clear passion for it. Yeah. I doubt that I would agree with exactly what he's trying to put across there, but I think that it was a point well made, and he's very earnest in the way that he did it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it's totally taken out of context what it's like. He's not mad at the Oscars. Yeah. He's excited about his games industry.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just look at the headline, you're like, he said what? Like, no, settle down.
You know how to make the headlines.
Yeah, Stush, what did you think of the... would you have any favorite parts? I know you said the orchestra you liked. What else stood out to you?
Honestly, nothing. Really, nothing stood out for me, but there were a lot of great moments to it. That they did the segment about that Carol Shaw woman.
Yes, that was fascinating.
It was a beautiful story.
Yeah, I had no idea, and
no.
You even watch, you looked at those old pictures of her, and she was, playing with her model trains and stuff, and you're just like, I mean, like you could see in those images just what intrigued her and stuff, and then as they were talking about her life in developing video games, and then showing all the pictures of like there were always women in video games, but like that they never really rise to the top, and it was super empowering, and it was just really interesting. Yeah, I think Beer Me even mentioned he's like they should do an extended take on her. Like
I would watch
super
it.
Fascinating.
I would watch anything on her after watching that little bit last night. That was really well done.
That was absolutely well done. One of the things that stood out to me, and I thought this was fantastic, and Proulx, if you get a chance, you should look at it. It was on Twitter quite a bit afterwards, but the when Linda Carter showed up as a PSA from Bethesda, and they said it was kind of like a just $1 a day, and you can save the single player games. And I mean, it was
awesome.
It was so funny. And they're just like, some people like to play games by themselves, and that's okay. And like, there's this couple on the couch doing a co-op thing, and this guy over there with his arms crossed, like, oh, I can't play with you guys. And so then Tim Hines comes on from Bethesda, and he's like, hey, at Bethesda we still like single player games, and then he talked about the sale that they're having on all their single player games, like Wolfenstein and Prey and all these other things that, hey, we still do single player games, guys, and they're great. So don't, what you may have heard out there, they're not dead. But that bit was hilarious, and just the candor of Linda Carter was so funny.
So you're talking about Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, right?
Well, she said she was the voice of she's like, you might know me from the voice of, I forgot what it was, this character in one of these Bethesda games. Or that one show, where I ran around in my underwear or whatever, or something.
Okay,
she totally played it off. Like
That's funny.
It was very, very creative. So I appreciated that. And then the other thing that stood out, and I'll do some of the other announcement things, but Death Stranding. Okay, I got to talk about this.
We do? Do we?
Yeah, Proulx, have you seen the extended preview for this thing?
I watched the whole thing, and at the end of it, I shrugged my shoulders and said, "What the hell?" And
I was saying that through the entire thing.
Yeah.
I was like, so they had me go. Like I was like, okay, I'm on board here. The dude's on the ground. Like things are happening. Okay, invisible monsters. Okay. The soul soup mud stuff that's pulling people under, okay. And I was like, this is weird, but I can still kind of see where this is going. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, we have lost communication here. I am so far gone. I do not know what's happening. All of a sudden we're underwater. All of a sudden there's the baby in a capsule. All of a sudden, and I'm like, my mind is freaking out. I'm like, I cannot put these images together in a way that I don't feel like I'm having like an episode. Like my brain can't put these things together, and so I'm starting to think then like Kojima is just lost it. He's done, right? I mean, this is the mouth of a madman. This is just crazy. And then the scene, which is like it helped bring me back to reality, is the Norman Reedus laying down, and then it zooms into his open mouth, and it goes down into his esophagus, and then all of a sudden, baby, hey baby, in the stomach, and baby gives the thumbs up, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? It was, oh my goodness, it was just pure insanity.
Yeah.
It seems to be the thing that's grabbing the most headlines, or a good chunk of them anyways. And I don't, forgive my ignorance, because I've never really been into Metal Gear. I only know Kojima, just because of how big he is in the industry, but I haven't, aside from casually playing some of his games, no reason to be a huge fanboy of his or anything like that. But this trailer is so nonsensical, is so ridiculous and silly that I don't understand why people are loving on it. Like, it's it showed nothing. It showed no gameplay, which, okay, that's par for the course for these sort of things. That's fine. But there's not even a coherent like theme, like let alone story or some sort of, what is it trying to communicate? I don't know. There's invisible creatures that are feasting on fetuses. I don't know what's happening in this thing, and I don't know why I should care. And why is this even a thing? Why? Just because it's Kojima? I don't know. It really bothered me. I was like, this is so dumb. I was 4 minutes through the 7 minutes or 8 minutes of extended preview of this stupid game, and I'm like, what is? I don't even know what this game is. This could be literally, like a Tetris game in front of this screen at this point. I don't know what this game is about or what I'm going to be doing in it. It was crazy to me. I'm lost. I guess that's all I can say.
Yeah, pure wackiness.
I have no idea what it's about either, but I want to play it.
I have no interest in playing it, but that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I want to play it. I just want to. I mean, even I'm just so concerned with Kojima. I don't even know anymore. Like, how does anyone come up with stuff like this? It's just crazy. Hey, let's talk about some other things that were announced. Hey, guess what I'm excited about? World War Z, the game. Where'd this thing come from? I had no idea this was even a thing. And maybe it's super early in development. I couldn't really tell because they were just showing like screenshots of these locales. Like, okay, cool, yeah, whatever, here we go. And then all of a sudden, the wave of zombies that comes out in, like, the World War Z thing reminded me of, like, a crazy Left 4 Dead horde. 10 times more zombies than what happens when you make a little bit of noise. So I'm excited about that. The Soul Calibur 6 announcement. Yes. Man, I played a ton of Soul Calibur 6 in college. That was, like, my pre-partying game. We'd get some 40s and we'd play Soul Calibur until we were nice and lubed up. Oh man, it was great.
Yeah, that was one of the 3 games we always played. We always played that, Virtua Tennis, or Tony Hawk 2.
Oh, Tony Hawk, yeah. We did Soul Calibur and Power Stone on the Dreamcast.
Yep.
Those are the 2 games that consume, and Cribbage, which is the actual card game of Cribbage. Those were our pre-party games. So those were cool. And then the other one, of course, again, I'm a big zombie guy, a GTFO, the game, from the creators, or what do they call them? Did they call them the creators of Payday? There was some weird wording because it wasn't like the developers of Payday. It wasn't them. It was like from the mind of the people who brought you Payday kind of thing. Anyway. Like it was like some sort of weird, spacey 4-player co-op. He had mentioned something about like solving puzzles and whatnot, and then all of a sudden everything went nuts, and effectively you got space zombies attacking you. But that could be kind of interesting. I need to see more on that, but I was intrigued by that as well. The other 2 things that I wrote down here that I want to talk about is Fortnite Battle Royale. That was a little awkward knowing that PUBG Corp was in the audience. And he was talking about how so many people are playing Fortnite Battle Royale, and the 100, and these are concurrents, and these, and PUBG, PlayerUnknown is saying, "You bastards, you stole from me! Don't you get up there and talk about how great your game is." Now I don't know if he he was not happy when it first happened, but that seemed a little weird, like uneasy that conversation was happening. But they announced a new 50 versus 50 kind of limited edition team battle. 50 versus 50, last team standing. So, in theory that could be last person, but you might have more than one person on the team still alive. That seemed kind of cool. And then the other thing was Rocket League. Look, I said they had a bunch of commercials for the Switch version. And they were talking about, they showed an image with the Switch, and it said, hey, you Switch, you can play with PC, and you can play with console. And, of course, the console silhouette was the Xbox, because it's the only one that you can cross-play with. There's no other consoles right now. Why didn't they just say Xbox? Why did they have to say console?
I don't know. But did you happen to see the part where they asked the Fortnite guys about leaving crossplay open?
Oh my god, that was funny.
Yeah, that was great. It was kind of a slam towards Sony.
It totally was. Oh man, yeah, that was perfect. Yeah,
I
Jeff
can't
Keighley
remember the
kinda-
wording of it. But
Jeff
it
Keighley
was,
kind of slid that in there where it was like, he's like, oh, he talked about how many concurrent players there, and Jeff Keighley kind of said something like, oh, yeah, and we got crossplay, and he's like, yeah, the PC players can play with Xbox, and Jeff kind of said, and PlayStation too, right? And they got this weird look on his face. He kind of had this smirk, and he's like, hey, what ended up happening with that? Kind of like, why don't you just... There was a thing that happened, and he was very...
That's awesome.
He's very diplomatic about it, and it's just like, look, that's what gamers want. Gamers want to be able to play with their friends, and sometimes their friends have a different set of equipment and they can't play together. And ultimately, I think all of us, and he kind of turns to the audience, as gamers, want to play with everybody. And that's what we're there to do. And so if we have the opportunity to open it up to everybody, we'll take it. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but that's ultimately the gist of what he had said. And I loved that bit. You could tell his mind was like, okay, damage control time. I got to figure out how to say this without getting myself into trouble.
Yep, I think he did a good job too.
I totally agree. And then, so Sea of Thieves got an announcement for a release date. March 20th? That's coming out. And I got an email because I was part of the technical alpha. I had helped out with some really early stuff with them or whatever. And they're like, hey, thanks for all your help. By the way, here's your code for the closed beta access. So when that comes up, you're in. So I get to play the closed beta. I'm kind of excited about that. I don't know when that's coming. Did they announce a closed beta date, or was it just the release date?
I didn't see a closed beta date.
Yeah, I think it was just the release date. But one other thing we forgot to mention with Joseph Ferris and his Way Out is they're doing something really interesting with the release of this game. They're essentially doing a BOGO, right? And so if you don't know what a BOGO is, my mother-in-law didn't know what a BOGO was either. And so that's BOGO. And so, for instance, we're at her, that's why I missed last show. We were at her house for her birthday. And it's out of the city. And she's oh yeah, Target is having a sale, having a BOGO sale, and so I don't know if you girls wear that brand, but it's a big discount. And my wife is like, "I'm sorry, what did you say? BOGO brand? No, Mom. BOGO, buy one get one, 50% off. Like that's not a brand, that's just a thing." But anyway, so BOGO in this instance is because A Way Out is a mandatory co-op game. You have to play it with a friend. When you buy the game, you get 2 copies of it. Now, that is just a limited time thing, it looks like. That doesn't happen. But on launch, if you buy it, you get 2 copies. So that you and a friend can experience that together. That's crazy.
So if you game share, you really get 4 copies.
Yes, absolutely. No, wait. You get 3 copies. Well, maybe. No, yeah, you get 4, because then they get a code and their game share buddy gets a code.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. But it's like, well, like look at online only games. It's like if Destiny came with 12 or 16 or whatever, however many codes. You know what I mean? It's like it's interesting, and I want to encourage this behavior. I'm not trying to discourage this at all. It's great. It's like if Army of Two came with 2 two discs or whatever.
Right.
Or Blood in the Sand.
Yeah. Lots of games. Plenty of games. Again, not complaining at all. It's just like, wow, okay. Like, what do you expect to do with this behavior? Are you trying to change the way the industry handles these types of games, or what? I don't know.
He's trying to get his game out there.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think you're right.
I mean, because it requires 2 people at all times, you kind of go in with it with a buddy. And I think because it's limited time, that's what's going to generate all the word of mouth. And then there'll be enough people online. Because I'm curious how hooking up in this game is going to work. Like, I'm there has to be some type of matchmaking, doesn't there? Like, in some regard, I don't know how you meet up with somebody. Like, it's not like we're going to use friend codes, right? That's a Nintendo thing. So, like, you have to, do you invite somebody? Is there a way to matchmake if you're a solo? You know, because down the road, when this is no longer a thing, then there just has to be a population of people that you can tap into. And so I think that's really the main thing is, like, look, we're doing something a little crazy here, and we're requiring you to do co-op. So why not go in with a buddy of yours that you know you can commit to finishing the game with? Because we think it's a great experience. And I think that's a cool notion and certainly helps lower the bar for people who would be on the fence and saying, I'm not really interested in trying a new thing with a stranger. Like, this kind of it seems a little too intimate for me. But, you know, if I got my brother or wife or, you know, best friend that you know, we can share this experience together, I think that's a lot easier pill to swallow. And you can split the cost, too, in theory.
Mm-hmm.
So, Proulx, you want to play this game with me? I need a buddy to play this game.
I'll do
with.
it.
I think this game looks sweet. I'm really excited about it.
The game itself,
very interesting.
Yeah, the game itself looks great. I'm very interested in it.
Hold on, you're one of those Brothers haters, though, aren't you?
No, I didn't hate Brothers. I thought it was overhyped.
I'm shaking my head, Proulx. I'm shaking my head. I did.
There's the one sequence that everybody loves, which is good. The story was really predictable for me. I guess I don't want to say it out loud, but if you don't see what happens at the end coming, then you just aren't familiar with how, I guess, narrative works. It's pretty clear from the get-go what's going to happen throughout the story. And people are constantly praise the story of Brothers. The gameplay was solid, really good. I enjoyed it, and it didn't overstay its welcome, which I think is tricky to do sometimes.
Yeah, there's a nice tight narrative there.
Yeah, but when I got to the end of the game and I saw, you know, people were like, "Oh, the story's amazing," and I got to this point, and I'm like, "Okay, that's exactly what I knew was going to happen," and nothing else happened other than that. There was nothing else. I was like, okay, that was a good game. I would give it it's a 7.5, 8 out of 10. It's
shallow. So shallow. You're killing
it's
me,
a
Proulx.
good game.
I'm just messing with you.
But, I don't hate the game by any means. It's just not, you know, best game of the year or best game of the whatever. It's good. It's good. It's a good game.
Stu, are you just biting your tongue because you're one of those Brothers haters?
Yeah, well, I was trying to think of the story of the game, and I can't think of it. I know I played it.
Two brothers, each on one control stick. You work your way through the puzzles, get to the top of the mountain, find a tree that, because your father's sick. That's the main gist of the story.
Yeah, see, I skip through stories and I don't pay attention to them. I don't think stories should be in a game. Just the whole story should be win. You know, I didn't need a story to save the princess with Mario.
Yeah, but those were super shallow stories way back in the day. Like,
yeah, I'm a shallow guy.
Do you enjoy reading books?
No.
Why don't you like books?
Be silly.
Do you like watching movies?
No.
Do you enjoy any sort of TV? How do you get stories?
I listen to books on audio.
Okay.
And I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I don't sit down and read books. I don't.
Oh,
watch
I can't do
TV.
that either. I'm terrible at books.
Wait. What about the very deep and compelling story in Rocket League, Stush?
That's why I love that game.
There's
no nonsense.
You have orange car versus blue car.
You win. I mean, the story is to win, and I can handle that.
That's fascinating. No, I mean, that's how I convince my wife to say that my video game playing is not as disgusting as she makes it out to be. Is, you know, this is how I consume stories. Like I get, you know, pieces of fiction and I learn about character development and I do things through this visual interactive media. That's what I love about it. I did not know that about you, Stush.
Yeah, what's funny about that is my wife will come in and ask me, "Hey, what's this game about?"
I don't know.
How the heck should I know? But yeah, she knows the stories of the games better than I do. I really don't pay attention.
That's funny. Yes, I loved the story of Brothers, and I felt that for those of you achievement hunters who skipped and just watched the end, shame on you.
Yeah, I skipped.
You missed a fantastic moment that can only be experienced through actually doing it with the controller yourself.
That's not true.
It's
absolutely
not
true
to do it.
Because it happens in a cutscene, so you don't get to actually control what's happening on the screen.
Nope. You're totally wrong, Proulx, and I will talk to you offline about how wrong you are.
That's fair enough.
So anyway, let's move on. There were some other announcements that happened, and of course, they didn't come out at the Game Awards show because they're not positive. They are. It was part of an earnings call that Ubisoft announced that it is pushing 3 games back. It is delaying 3 games. Far Cry 5 moved back a month. The Crew 2 moved back a quarter. And then there was an unannounced... there's 3 unannounced franchise games, and one of those is being pushed back a year. And now, what they said about it was actually more positive than just having 3 movements, especially based on what Assassin's Creed Origins has done. But they said this decision is in line with our strategic vision of developing even more engaging and higher quality experiences for gamers. Taking more time with Assassin's Creed Origins enabled our talented development team to fully express their creative vision, and as expected, this had a very positive impact on the game's quality and largely participated to its commercial success. Taking a similar approach, we have decided to invest additional development time in 3 upcoming games. Now, that statement in of itself, I am totally on board with, because I think most people agree, and Stush, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Assassin's Creed Origins having the extra time to bake and revise everything that we come to know as Assassin's Creed is ultimately refreshing and fun and welcome. Do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. It's such a great game.
Yeah.
I haven't had this much fun with an Assassin's Creed game since probably the first. Even I know the first wasn't the best one, but it was a new idea for a game, and
yeah,
I really loved it. And this one I loved just as much as I loved playing the first one.
Have you played nearly all of them?
Nearly.
Do you have? So what's your top 3?
Oh man, Black Flag is up there.
Yeah.
Origins is probably number 1.
Okay.
Black Flag number 2, and number 3 would probably be the original.
Okay, I got you. Proulx, do you play some Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
So how would you rank yours?
I would probably put Black Flag at number 1 as well. Loved that game. And then I would... the first one wouldn't be on my list at all. I'd give it to 2. I've only played, to be fair, 1, 2, Revelations, Brotherhood, and Black Flag. So, but yeah, Black Flag is by far the best. Then 2, and then probably like Brotherhood or something like that. But
that's my order exactly, because I haven't played anything past Black Flag. So no Unity, Syndicate, or Origins, or Rogue. I haven't played any of those 4. I own them. I just haven't played them. So I would go Black Flag, Brotherhood, and then 2. I like Brotherhood better than 2, but it's nice to hear that. I mean, because ultimately, I think if I played Origins, I would feel the same way, that it's fun and refreshing. And the other thing that Ubisoft mentioned on their call, they just put a bunch of numbers out here about how much money they were making. And the one thing, and I don't know when they started to build all this stuff up, but like obviously they have to, because they have shareholders, they have to explain all this stuff. And I'm just curious how this plays into what Vivendi's doing. And how that, because they're still constantly looking for, this monkey on their back about whatever the hell that company's trying to do to them. So anyway, that's neither here nor there, and we talk about that a ton. The final piece of news I want to talk about is essentially starts from a question from the Joe Dean. He says, "Hey, what do you think about PUBG not launching with achievements?" And so the True Achievements article here, again, not that we would have expected it because the game is, I believe, coming into game preview. That is officially the banner in which it's coming, and so many games on the game preview program do not have achievements. There are some that do, but they certainly don't start with achievements, and I think just the undertaking that they're going to see with the newly, excited console base is just going to be rife with issues about how you establish achievements and what they're going to end up being. And with 1.0 on the horizon for the PC and the desert map and all that stuff, I'm just not even sure PUBG Corp knows what they want to do with the achievement list overall. That they're probably going to have to figure that out as they see how players are playing. Will you guys be participating in a little PUBG action? That's coming out, but that'll be out the day after this, the day before this show releases. Can we see on those servers? Stush, you playing some PUBG?
Well, I know for a fact that my game share partner will be buying it, the day it comes out.
Yeah.
B. Smiddle loves that game. He plays it on PC. I'm interested in it because everyone says it's fun, but without the achievements, it takes away some motivation to play it.
Yeah. Proulx, what about you?
I'm in the exact same boat. I want to play it, but I think I'll wait until it gets achievements, until it officially releases, so that we can get those. Because if it's a big game too, and I could be swayed because I have friends that don't care about achievements that might play it, but I think I'll just wait unless we would learn that it would be retroactive in some way.
Yeah, that's true.
Because plenty of other stuff to play until then, and I'm sure the game will be just as good in 6 months when all that sort of stuff gets sorted out. So I think I'll wait.
Curious how it's going to play out. Like, is there going to be like ranked lobbies? Is there going to be like, because that's my biggest fear about getting into it is because I will not be able to devote the time to be as good in that game as others, and so jumping into a game as a huge novice, I feel is going to be a big learning curve to all those people who have already played it for thousands of hours on Steam and the PC, and now they'll move to console, and it's like I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to learn it and pick it up. I mean, clearly people can because it's growing ever popular by the day, but
it's a first-person shooter. You play one, you play them all.
Yeah, well, it could be. It's both. And I wonder, do you think, what are they going to launch with? Are they going to have the option of the first-person lobbies or the third-person lobbies? I wonder.
For first-person.
Well, its core is third-person. That's what it came out as initially, and then they were worried about all the people who could shoulder cheat and shoulder peek. And so they added first-person lobbies to make it that much more difficult for, it kind of cuts down your line of sight and being able to look around corners and stuff.
Have either of you guys played the Fortnite?
No, that Battle Royale mode?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have it downloaded, to be honest.
I've heard very good things about it, but I haven't played it myself.
I've sat and watched my roommate play it, and it looks really fun. I don't know why I haven't yet, but...
there's no achievements in the Battle Royale part, is there? Do any of those... I wonder if any of that works toward your progress in the main game. Or does it not have anything yet because it's still in game preview? No, they came out with achievements. The Founders Pack came out with achievements, yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I wonder if any of that works.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I haven't played any of it, so I don't know. We got a question here from Cool Kid Joe, and he says, "Hey, guys, ever play a game that you absolutely just wondered how did it get a sequel?" I'm trying to think of any of my games that
really,
that really
good example, actually.
Okay, I'm excited. What do you got?
Yeah, why on earth did they make a Destiny 2? It literally makes zero sense to me.
Walked right into that one.
Yeah, you did.
Freaking saw that coming. I think the one that comes to mind for me is Crackdown 2.
Well, Crackdown 1 was a good game.
Were the numbers inflated so high because of people just wanted that Halo beta?
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh, well, now we got to make Crackdown 2. I mean, people are clamoring for it. And you know what? Let's make it and not listen to anything that the fans wanted. We'll just do our own thing. It'll be great.
It was not as good as the first one, too. I was surprised to see Prototype 2. I don't know if that's
sure
the same sort of thing. There's not a lot of games that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm thinking, why did they even make a second one? Oh, I can't think of any others. Yeah, probably Destiny. That'll be my answer.
I can see it. Stush, you got anything?
Well, like Defense Grid 2. You didn't need a second one of those.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same game. A little nicer graphics, but
in every sports game, every year it's the same thing with just different team rosters. So.
Yeah. I'm excited to see if EA ends up moving toward a games as a service subscription model for that.
Yeah, I would love that. That
people that just kind of like, I'm not really into buying a new game every year. But then again, I don't know what the millennials think. I'm old, cranky old man.
How much would you?
I don't know what the casual gamer thinks anymore.
How much would you think would be reasonable to charge for that?
Like an annual fee?
Yeah. Presumably it's going to be less than $120 a year.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to entice anybody to do it because there's no change. So let's say it was where would it be the sweet spot for you? Would it be $80? Like
no, I think they would spread it out. Actually, I think it would be like an EA Access $30 service fee to just interface with your team, and then I think that they would introduce, like new game modes, and that there would be some type of monetary buy-in. Like, oh hey, you want to participate in the draft? Well, here, you need to pay $5 for your clipboard or something dumb. I don't know, but I feel like they would just kind of do that, and so that you kind of forget that you paid the $30, but then so you just kind of do that annually, and then they're like, hey, new team rosters are out, so just cost you $10 to update the roster. Oh, the rookie class is out. You want to draft your new rookies? So that's only $5, and we'll get you the rookies into the system. I feel like they'll nickel and dime you the whole way.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think that's the worst situation for achievement people.
Oh yeah. Well, I think they're all terrible for achievement people.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest, I think they would totally forget about that. I think that they would be like, oh, when you do your new roster update, you're like, oh, and here's your fresh achievement list, and here's 10 new achievements, and then you wouldn't get any for a year.
Exactly. We were just talking today because I think yesterday, it was yesterday, the December update for Gears of War 4 came out, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody was complaining is it okay to complain that they keep coming out with new stuff for this game?
That was L.
Oh yeah, was it L? That makes sense. It's like, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, sort of thing.
I'm really happy they're supporting it, but could you just stop supporting it? Because I'm kind of done with that game.
Because every time, and to be fair, they're doing a fantastic job because a lot of the achievements that they introduce are retroactive. They're already tracking everything you do.
Yeah.
You can't really complain about how they're doing this, and they're giving you extra achievements, and they're free, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like, not that I'm sure there are plenty of people that play these annual sports games, and they go for the achievements every time. But if this turned into more of a, like you say, games as a service sort of thing, I don't know. As far as our community is concerned, I think it would hurt. I think it would hurt them overall.
It's possible. The one, It's strange about that, and so I was saving this for my zombie news, but I'll talk about it now. I just saw something about Dying Light getting a new expansion coming out called Bad Blood. Now, it is a standalone expansion, mind you, so you can buy this game by itself, but the base game, Dying Light, that game came out in 2015. Like, that is that'll be a nearly 3, because that came out early 2015. If you guys remember, that was one of the first early releases, like a February, I think it was like February 23rd or something. I just looked it up. I should actually tell you what it was. January 27th, 2015. So a 3-year-old game is now getting an expansion onto it, and you know what they're doing? It's a battle royale mode.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
So it's not the 100 people or whatever, but it is a blend of PvP and PvE. They say up to 6 players are dropped into an area infested with zombies. You need to evacuate before nightfall. You have no weapons. You need to find all your supplies and required to pay for your seat in the helicopter. You'll need to get a blood sample from the zombies, including one of the larger bosses, to get you on that helicopter. And the more samples that you collect, the more seats available in the helicopter. So it's really about teamwork and cooperating to win. But then they could do the old Division style. Yep, screw you guys, I'm taking off and turn on you. So they're testing it right now, but that sounds kind of cool. But again, a super old game it's like, yeah, why don't we just kick the tires on this thing? See what's out there. Again, I appreciate they're using the assets, right? And at least this is a standalone. Gears of War, it's like, yeah, we're just kind of goofing around in there. Hey, we came up with some kind of new fun stuff. You want more achievements? Here you go. Here's some new updates. It was like that Omerta one that I talked about, where like a year later they tacked on DLC. Oh man, what jerks! What jerks!
I kind of love the Gears stuff. I honestly do, because I have a buddy of mine that we go through the campaigns together, and I think it was the October update or September, one or the other. That's when they introduced the inconceivable level difficulty, and
that's right.
We decided no way, no way. We're just not going to do it. But they have this new achievement now where you have to go through the campaign without using the Nash or shotgun or the Lancer assault rifle, and the two big staples,
right,
of the Gears game. And that actually sounds like a fun achievement. You have to do it on hardcore or harder, and it's non-retroactive. Not that it would matter, because you would always use those guns anyways. I'm actually really excited to go back and get that achievement. It's like 50 Gamerscore too, and I'm sure the TA will end up being pretty high on it, because that sounds like a fun achievement to go for. It's a whole playthrough, which is a lot, but I like it. I kind of like that there's always something that you can go back to and get more of it. There's a lot of games, and by the way, Gears of War 4 is not my favorite game of all time, but it's good and it's enjoyable, and there are plenty of games that I wish had that sort of mentality where, well, Rocket League is actually kind of a good example, because it also seems to be updating as well. But I seasonal updates for these games that you are already playing all the time anyways, this is awesome. Like, to me, that's like the best of both worlds. You can keep playing the games that you love and getting achievements for them. So I want to encourage that behavior as much as possible.
Destiny does that.
No, but here's the thing about Rocket League and Gears of War. You don't have to pay for these sorts of things when you've already bought the game. So Destiny doesn't really do it, because Destiny wants you to pay an extra $40 every 2 months. But we don't have to get into that.
Fine. Eliphet, I feel like I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I feel like I need a phonetic spelling. Eliphalet. There you go. Eliphalet77 says, hey, I'm going to try and coordinate 200,000 Gamerscore and 200 completions with the same achievement. Do you guys ever purposely craft such milestones, and which ones are you most proud of? I think we talked about this before. I mean, we do try and nail the number right on the head. Now, do you pick a specific one to do that with? Because I'm pretty sure when I hit 100,000, that was a very particular achievement. And now I want to see what that milestone was and when I did it. I wonder if I can look it up on that day.
No,
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't even know when I hit the milestones until I look at TA the next day.
and you get all those comments saying, "Congratulations, douche! You did great." Yeah. No, I'm exactly the same. I don't like. I'm aware that I'm approaching it. Like, hey, I'm getting close to 200,000, and then I'm gonna hit it soon. I'll probably hit it in the next week. Like, I'm aware that that's happening. I never plan on just hitting it on the head or hitting it with a specific game. I don't. To me, it's like whatever. It's like it doesn't matter.
Fine. You guys are no fun. I'm gonna look mine up. It
I
was
hear that all the time.
October of last year that I hit my 100,000. And so I can actually look up the exact achievement that I won to do that, because I know I planned it. I'll come back to it. Let's jump into Reset 42's question here. This is the last one of the week. Do unusual Gamerscore values bother you guys? And if so, why? Then he means Gamerscore not divided by 5. Skeptical Mario says yes, and I think what are the worst non-divisible Gamerscore achievements? What particularly bothers you? Elifet chimes in on that one, saying playing the bridge at the moment, which is all odd-numbered. And I guess that's at least an easy game, and Infinite Undiscovered is pretty much the worst, he thinks. So Infinite Undiscovery is his worst. What do you guys have for... So first, does that bother you? Second, what's the worst example of those?
So, Fream, you were in party with me a couple weeks ago when I got an achievement to get me an even number. And
That's
I was
right.
pretty upset about it.
You were cranky about that.
So, no, I don't like even number Gamerscore. I like it being off.
Just a weird one.
And and after reading that, I read that on your comments today, that the bridge had some odd ones, so I finally got my odd score back today. So thank you for that tip with the bridge.
So you went the other way with it. Purposely went to mess up your score.
Yes.
So can you think of any particular game that is very egregious in terms of those?
Overcooked.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
yes.
You start the game, you get one. That would annoy the heck out of me if I was, if I cared about that. But.
Yep, that's exactly the one I was thinking, because the only way to clean that... And there's a couple other games that do that, where you do the whole thing and you'll end up with 999, and that one pointer is sitting there to do just some obscene amount of something. And it's like, you bastards.
I love it.
I think it's pretty funny, but it's also a big kick in the... Gun World, I think, does that. There was one there that was like that, where it's kind of funny, because I think the first 2 achievements are like something like, a 1 gamer score, that's going to bother a bunch of people. And then, I should look it up right now. What did he... I'll type it in, because then like the next one you get actually fixes it, and it's not as disgusting. But
yeah, that's what it looks like with the bridge. So I'm kind of upset because it was actually fun, and I want to go back and play it. So my score is going to be even again pretty soon.
Here it is. So the first achievement you get in Gun World 2, the adventure begins. 1 pointer. The description: 1 gamer score. That's going to upset some people. And then literally you go a little bit further, just like within a few minutes, and you get Whisper in the Wind. It's a 4-pointer. Description: just kidding. Here's the other 4 gamer score. I told you we wouldn't do that again. So they did it in their first game, where you got the 1-pointer, and I think you had to go all the way through and finish that game. So you get a 1-pointer for starting the game for the first time. And then you get a 1-pointer for using the giant, dumb-looking knife. It says, seriously, I know it's huge and cool-looking, but don't use the knife. It's a gag weapon. And then I think the last achievement, everything else is normal, except for the end game. Take your first step into the final gauntlet is a 4, ends in a 4, and then the very end is also another one that ends in a 4. So there's 2 end game achievements that help you even out your gamer score. So that one's pretty egregious too. Gun World.
I kind of care, but it's been so long since I've been like, I would prefer to be even. I don't care so much that I need to seek it out to fix it. But, if it was my choice, I would say, yeah, put me even. I think what set me off initially was Graw. I think it's Graw that really pushed me to, and at this point, I don't care enough to go and find a 2-point achievement or whatever I need. Mm-hmm. And then not get the rest of those achievements for that game to set me straight. So yeah, to me, it's like, if I could, I'd be even, but I'm not, and I can't. So I don't know. You know what? The other day, I mentioned this in the Discord chat. I hit an even TA score, and that felt really nice. It was like 416,000 or something like that, and that was cool. I liked that. I liked seeing those nice even 3 zeros at the end. I wish that was constant, but it's not, and I don't care enough to really change it.
So I went back and I found, because I remember I hit 999,999, right? No, I didn't hit 1,000,000. 99,999. I hit that on the head, and so I took a picture of that, and then I started Gun World, actually, which was my 1-pointer to put me to 100,000 on the spot, and that was the easy one, and that was starting that game for the first time, put me exactly at 100,000 gamer score. So I set that one up on purpose. I wanted to hit 5 9s, and I hit 1 and 5 zeros. So that was my comp, and then I think I did 1 2 3 4 5 6. As another target, but I don't remember what that achievement was there. The hell am I at gamer score now? I should even look it up. Oh, I'm getting kind of close to 200,000 myself. Probably pretty high. Maybe should try to hit that for my birthday. That'd be a good one. Anyway, that's it for questions from the crowd. Proulx, something tells me that Randy never got you any knobs and discos.
Nope.
Unobtainable, discontinued achievements. I don't have a list either. So if Randy's going to jump something in, then here's the spot for it. Stush. So we'll look forward to some Rocket League news and getting to play. What else are you going to be up to for the near future here? Anything fun that you got on the horizon? Anything fun for Christmas that you're going to do?
No, I get a week off of work between Christmas and New Year. Unfortunately, my wife took some vacation time then too. So
I'm in the same boat.
Won't be playing video games all week like I thought. But
I know. I'm in the same boat. My wife's company, does your company shut down? Like it's a planned shutdown? Yeah. Non-essential personnel kind of thing. Yeah, my wife does the same thing, and so she's definitely off. And of course, my kids don't have school. So it's like, well, and because where Christmas falls, it's like, I'm just taking the whole week off too. Guess what? Mm-hmm. Christmas is out of town this year. Yay! So I won't be by my Xbox for like 4 days.
Oh, man.
That's a big pile of turds. Proulx, what are you doing? Anything fun, Christmas-wise?
Actually, we're having quite a quiet Christmas. Normally, I go home, for the season, but because of the new pup,
you can't take them anywhere.
No, not going to be feasible. So it's actually going to be just me, my girlfriend, and Proulx and the pup for a nice little quiet Christmas, which means hopefully I get quite a bit of gaming done. I'm excited.
Nice. Fantastic. So, Stush, with all that non-gaming, what kind of games are you going to be focused on now that Assassin's Creed Origins is done?
Man, I don't even know. I'm probably just going to try to concentrate on the random to-do list until I get distracted on something. But I don't have anything I'm looking forward to in the near future.
Nice. Gotcha. Well, I'm sure you'll find something. What's your very next target? Do you have one on the random to-do list? Did you look one up? Do you want a suggestion?
I was working on. Yeah, I do. I would like a suggestion.
All right, let me pull up your list. I'll give you something.
Yeah, because they're all pretty ugly. I have like Supreme Commander in there, and I don't want to touch that game. And then
I'm glad you said something, because I feel like I would just be a jerk and make you do that one.
No. Then I have like Axiom Verge, which I want to play that game, but the one it wants me to do is I can only pick up like less than 40% of the items. And I don't want to do that in my first playthrough.
Do you prune your list at all? That's a pretty big pool size.
I want to, but I'm lazy.
Wait, you don't want to do Axiom Verge, or just because it's finishing the whole game?
Well, it's finishing the whole game with picking up less than 40% of the items.
Yeah, that's not how you want to. That's not how you want to do it, right? Yeah. Oh, you probably don't want to go to Assassin's Creed Rogue. That doesn't sound like fun. Going backwards.
Yeah. It's a pretty ugly list.
Yeah,
get your oh, you know what? Your Sleeping Dogs one is super easy. Super easy.
But then you have to play Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs is pretty okay.
What's that Gears of War Judgment one? What do you got to do there?
Finish the game.
Oh, jeez.
I am pretty close.
Your Arkham City achievement is also...
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of doing next.
Yeah. And that's a great game. I love that game.
It is. I went through Arkham Asylum last month with the random to-do list.
Man, I have absolutely no crossover with you. Like, there's not a single game on your list that is even remotely close to my list or anything I'm even interested in playing.
Yeah, it's nothing I'm interested in playing.
It's really... I'm very surprised based on your attitude towards these games. Previously, you have 2 Halo Wars achievements from 2 separate Halo Wars games. Why are they even on your list? I'm so surprised.
Because I don't trim my list.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't either. So but you have played them both then, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why did you even play them? You don't even like anything about Halo or Wars or Halo Wars.
Because I fall into peer pressure and people tell me, "Oh, you should get it," and I know I won't enjoy it. Dude, I've bought every Fallout game thinking I was gonna like it, and I don't. I've bought the Dark Souls games. I don't like them. And I think I will, and they look beautiful. I'm like, oh, I'm going to like it this time. I'm going to force myself to like it. And I don't.
That's too bad.
They all pale in comparison to Rocket League, don't they, Stush?
Of course. Yeah. That's such a great game.
That's awesome. Proulx, what are your plan for the upcoming little bit here?
So I'm really going to work on... the random to-do list is going to be my number 2 priority. I want to focus on the 12 Days of Christmas stuff. I'm not going to do the crazy reverse meta game that people are apparently doing, but I do want to get the actual challenge done, and I'm very excited about it. It's every day I'm like, man, 12 o'clock. What's it going to be? I bet it's going to be this. Oh, it's not this. I'm really excited about that. So that's my main focus. Then, of course, run a to-do list. And then, we're coming to the end of the year here. So, cleanup. Cleanup is the name of the game, honestly, for me.
Okay.
I did buy Wolfenstein. I mentioned that last week for Black Friday sale. I want to get to that at some point.
Right.
I'll try.
Hey, Proulx, are you doing Fream's year-end challenge thing?
No, I've never. No? Yeah, I haven't done that. It was a lot to keep track of on my own, and I know myself well enough to know that I wouldn't. So
you wouldn't get 30 completions?
No. I wouldn't be able to, or not be able, but I wouldn't be able to focus enough to be like, okay, I need this, and this. It may be the case that I
How many completions do you have this year?
More than 30. I can guarantee that.
You should just see what fits.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I should. You know what? I will.
'Cause I got 20 completions, but like 3 of them are just throwaways. Like they don't fit. I can't make them fit in any empty category. So I guess I only went about halfway on my own list, which is kind of a bummer.
I feel like I've had more than 30 completions in Telltale games, honestly, in the last 3 months. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so...
Oh, you definitely got the stacks. You got the one with zombies. There's 3 right there.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll actually go over the list. I will. But other than that, yeah, like I said, those 2 competitions are my main focus right now. And then just the standard things I'm boosting. I want to get as much Halo done as possible. Yeah, just the little stuff and cleaning up. And so that's what I'm working on.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing. My first plan, I'm on day 6 still, so I got to do the single player ones. And so I'm going to do Walking Dead Michonne, finish the first episode, which gets me 6, and then that 7th, guess what, is my random to-do list, and the first of the 7 in a new game. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to just hit random to-do lists and gamer tag challenge letters for the 7, and then move into what's co-op stuff. I got a couple games in mind for some co-op stuff, but yeah, very heavy random to-do focused. But I'm running out of time, guys. I'm not sure, and especially this weekend, I'm not going to have anything going to do. I won't have any gaming time this weekend, so I got to do a bunch of this stuff on Sunday. And then, man, we got all our boosts still. So busy. So that's not necessarily the end of the show because, we got a bunch of stuff we're tacking on here in the end. I'm going to do some zombie news. I'm going to do a gamer contest roundup. I'm going to give out prizes to the winners at the end of the show as well. And I know there'll be a Review Zed. There'll be a What the L segment. But in the meantime, we're going to take off with this crew. So, Proulx, is there anywhere that you want people to bother you? If you want to throw out your contact info?
Yeah, people can find me all over the place. Obviously, my Xbox Live TA name is Proulx. If I'm not even going to spell it out for you. Honestly, at this point, if you don't know it, you can find it on Z to Z. Other than that, I'm on Twitter, everywhere else under 1UpDan. That's the number 1, not the word. And please, come find me. I'd love to chat with you.
Fantastic. And Stush, you're welcome to give any information or remain private and anonymous. I don't really care. It's up to you.
I will say you can find me in the Discord server and Fream's Discord server, and that's about it.
That's the place to go.
I also wanted to congratulate you guys, Fream and Proulx and Randy, for hitting your goal in Patreon.
We did it! Yeah, yep. Actually, and even though it technically... It wasn't official until the December poll, which hasn't happened. We're giving away a full game for November because it's Christmas, and we love all of our patrons. They're amazing, and I don't tell them enough. That's on me. I need to send out more messages because you people are awesome. I'm so excited.
Yep, congrats, guys, and if you guys can't support these guys, hop on the iTunes thing and give them a 5-star review. Yeah, that'll help them out too.
And come see us on Discord, like Stu said, man. Our Discord chat is fantastic.
It's fun.
I feel like we should just say it right now, Proulx. The Freamholes Discord is going back to the official.
Yes, thank you. I've been holding that in for so long. Let me
to Z server.
Yes.
Nice.
Freem and I have talked about this previously, and in the past we had some reasons to switch, but I think it's important that we go back, and this is the community. This is the Z to Z community. We're working on it. It may not happen. Now is a busy time of the year. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to land.
I'm not even sure what's required to make the switch.
It's going to land Wednesday as soon as you announce it. The official server.
So we are
right?
No, we are. It will be we're going to go back to the Z to Z Discord. For now, all of the contact information will stay the same. But as soon as we get everything lined up in a row, we will let everybody know the official place to find everybody, and it's going to be great. But don't let that deter you from joining right now. If you're here, you're listening to this, and this is new, join the Fream server for now, and we'll get everybody moved on to the Z to Z server. I'm very excited about that. I think this is going to be really good.
Yep. We're going back home. And that might just be a name change. I don't even know. But it's going to happen. It'll be awesome. So thanks, everybody, for listening for this little week here. And yeah, stick around for... Let's start with Reviews Ed. Proulx, you're in on this one, right?
I am. And you know what we're going to be talking about? Oh, God, I have to look this up real quick. I think it's this game called...
Forma 8, isn't it?
I was going to say Forma Z, but I guess you're right. It's probably Forma 8.
Definitely a letter. It's definitely a number.
It was Forma something, yeah. Forma. So I haven't played it yet, but I will by the time you hear this segment. So give this a listen.
Z to Z Podcast presents Review Z.
Hello and welcome to Z to Z Review Z. This week I have Proulx with me.
This is 2 weeks in a row, folks. Don't get used to this, but you can get a little spoiled.
Oh, exactly, because it's typically the whole Planting and Spazpol show. But he's off having fun this week, I guess, and last week. He went to Disneyland. Anywho, this week we reviewed Forma 8, which is a Metroidvania action-adventure game published and developed by Mixed Bag Games. This was released on the 24th of February. It's $14.99 on the marketplace.
Well, first off, let me say $14.99 is $15 too much to pay for this game. Also, if you're like me and you get excited by the prospect of a Metroidvania, this game is also not for you. I want to try to stay as positive as possible. I will try. But I've had more... honestly, I've had more frustrations in the 4 to 5 hours I've played this game than I've had in a lot of other gaming experiences this year. I don't know. Do you share that experience with me?
Oh, yes. I would definitely throw puzzle onto the list of genres because, my
Yes.
God, the things they expect you to just come up with to solve. Yes, this is a puzzle game.
So, I mean, there's a laundry list of issues with this game. The biggest issue I think with this game is unclear expectations. You have no idea where you're supposed to go, why you're supposed to go there, or what you're supposed to do when you get there. There's no clear path in this game. It is quote unquote a Metroidvania game. They put you in this map. By the way, the map is completely useless, but we'll get to that, I'm sure, later. There's no context in this game for anything that you do. If you push the menu button, you see 3 shapes. Maybe you have some of the shapes, maybe you don't. When you collect them, maybe your health goes up, maybe it doesn't. Nothing that you do in this game makes any sort of sense. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm supposed to go for. There's little to no text. I am so lost in this game. Please, God, please help me. Tell me you're lost too.
Well, yes. Oh, I'm also hopelessly lost. It started out relatively manageable, and until I get to the weird, I'm in space in some other part of the map flying around this really, really big island part. And now I don't know where to go. I think getting to that point was actually part of the reason why it took me 2 hours to get there, is because we had to beat the fire plant. This, I guess, snake-like... snake-like, I guess, I don't know, what are we, robot head eating plant. It is carnivorous. It wants to eat us, and if it doesn't get you, then it shoots fireballs at you and really wants to kill you. So trying to kill it is definitely an exercise in futility until you start to look around the map and use all your clues, but that takes a good 15-20 minutes of experimentation, and that was the frustrating part.
And that's the thing with this game. Like, every enemy you've encountered up to that point, up to that first boss, tells you if you hit a boss with your attack, you start with 0 attacks, you get 1 attack, and then you get a bomb. You can lay a bomb wherever you're at, and then walk away or float away or whatever. Every encounter you had with an enemy up to that point tells you if when you hit an enemy it flashes white, you're damaging it. When you get to this first boss, you are damaging it with both of the attacks. You're damaging it with your bomb. You're damaging it with your A attack as well. But you're not, actually. Turns out you're not. So you can spend 15 minutes just hitting this thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. This is terrible. This is game design 101. You have to communicate to the player that what they're doing is either being effective or not effective. But it's up to this point, you're being told, yes, do this, do this, do this, do this. And like you say, in desperation, after 10 minutes of doing the same thing over and over again, you have to go to search other solutions. That is literally the MO of this game. Every time you enter a new room, you think you know what you should be doing. Turns out it's not clever or it's not smart in the way it introduces new gameplay conceits to you. It's cumbersome and awkward and frustrating. It's never like, oh, I should do this thing, then this thing. Oh, that makes sense. It's always do this thing 10 times until it's obviously not working, then desperately search the room or any other sort of solution you can find to do the thing that you need to do.
Oh, I completely agree. And that, I think, is why I'm so lost now. Because after you make this transport through the I don't know what for I don't know why, you're given basically 3 different paths. And as far as I can tell, you can kind of wander on either of them, or any of them, for quite some time. And which means this either becomes open-ended or they let you explore that much before actually showing you, yes, this is the way you need to be going and having a block of some sort. Because quite commonly you'll be exploring and, oh, this is locked from the other side. Oh, great.
It's such a frustrating game because it drops you in pretty early on and you're not given a lot of context. You have an opening cutscene, which is a 30-second cutscene maybe. And you learn that you're this sphere and you're dropped onto this planet for whatever reason. Okay, fine. Maybe we'll discover that as part of the story. I'm in. I can handle that. But you don't know. There's little to no text. I can't specifically remember if there's any text when you pick up your first 2 abilities. But even it's so mind-numbingly frustrating. Like, I have no clue why I'm going where I'm going or what I should be doing when I get there. And I love Metroidvania games, but it's like a Metroidvania game designed by someone who doesn't have any concept of like the difficulty curve that games should feature. It's not like, you slowly introduce a character to a player to a new mechanic. Then you present them with a new situation where they would have to use that mechanic in a kind of a creative or an inventive way, and then ramp up the difficulty. It's basically, here's the game. Oh, by the way, just have fun. And it's like, what? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, why I'm supposed to be doing it. Everything is left on the table. Everything about this game feels like an exercise in frustration.
Well, you know what it feels like to me? It's telling me to grab pen and paper and start drawing out the levels like I did when I played Zelda, years ago. I think that's almost what it's trying to tell you, because yes, there is a map. This map, we need to talk about the map a little bit.
Yes, we do.
It shows you that you can leave in either like up, down, left, or right from a room. It doesn't show you anything about the room or that there's anything in any of these rooms. It's just literally the sequence of linkage for the different areas of the game.
So this map, I'm so glad you brought up the map because it is also terribly frustrating. You open up the map for the first time, right? I think it's pressing the back button brings up the map. Yes. And you see a bunch of squares with lines connecting things. Okay, I can kind of gather from that maybe it's a map. That's fine. Like you say, especially early on, there's no context or understanding of what leads to what or where you are. There's no tutorial. There's no explanation. I mean, I've played old school games like Legend of Zelda. I've played games where it required you to either map it out or look at, seek out help or whatever. This game is, it's just too much. It's just way too much. It expects way too much of you to do that sort of thing. And I experienced frustration from minute 15 until hour 5 every step of the way. And it was so terrible.
For as a heads up to anyone that does open that map, there's going to be one of those like highlighted squares. Well, squares that's highlighted, I guess I should say. That's the one you're in. It's not immediately obvious again until you've moved around a little bit. But yes, the one that's highlighted is the one you're in. Good luck figuring out how to get from that one to the ones it's connected to, though.
Yeah.
The things that it shows, the random squares and symbols, are artifacts, secret objects, and I'm assuming keys, because that's what they feel like they are.
I don't think the map, and that's the thing about this game, is so ambiguous. I don't know. I don't think the map actually features the keys. I know
it was the third thing it showed. I almost want to open the game and double check now, but I want to say that it showed 3 different. Oh no, you're right. It does show different things. One of them is like an orb thing, which is another kind of collectible, which I don't think is even on this list.
So
Energy
fairly
flower.
early on in the game, you're gonna hit your first health upgrade thing, and that becomes clear what it is, what it does, and how it works. And that's great. So you're like, okay, cool. But on that map screen are 3 different. I don't know if I'd call them collectibles, but 3 different objects that you can grab that are useful to you. One is and it seems to be 1 out of 3 in every level. There seems to be 3 in every level of the health upgrades. Then there is keys, and then there is hexagons.
Those are the artifacts.
Okay, but what do they do?
They unlock
do we only know
achievements.
yes, exactly. Do we only know that they're artifacts because they have an achievement attached to them? It's never explained in the game what they are or what they do. You collect them and they go bling, and that's it.
There's also secret objects, which are like a card-looking thing that I found one of, and I found another that I can't get to because I don't have the teleport skill yet, and I don't think I ever will.
Yeah. Oh man, this game. This is by far the most frustrating experience I've had with any reviews at games I've played.
I mean, I'd like to give them points for creativity because it's obvious they put a lot of effort into the game. I mean, as you move from room to room, the scenery changes. It's not amazing, but it's at least distinct so that I can remember, oh yeah, it's the red background or the black and white room or the one with the lava bubbles. I mean, there's a few rooms like that. Anyway.
Yeah, and the visuals are okay in like a minimalistic sort of. You play literally a tiny, small circle on the map with like headlights for eyes, and that's fine. The music actually I enjoyed overall. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was pretty good. But other than that, nothing visually interesting or distinctive happening. I don't know. I was so frustrated playing this game. I can't recommend it. Maybe I'm stupid, or maybe if you follow a guide, it's easy.
I'm not sure there's going to be a guide that can hold your hand through this kind of thing, though, because although it might be able to explain which way you need to go to unlock the different content, you still need to navigate these labyrinth rooms that are just, it's like, okay, I can see that I need to be over there, except that's off to the left, but all my paths are to the right. I go, okay, let's start exploring.
Yes, and another really frustrating part of this game is that you move at a glacial pace. Now, we were talking about this, and there was an achievement for getting the speed boost upgrade. We didn't get that far, and sorry, but we just didn't get that far. And maybe that helps the game considerably, but if you're moving through the game at such a slow, like, it is just, Oh man, like that teleport, when you first teleport to that teleport area and you have to go across that body of water and the mountains and stuff, it's like you're going across this map for, I would say, at least a minute 30.
Yes.
And
if
with
you're like
nothing
me,
going on.
I actually made the loop because I have this like a compulsive desire to explore things.
Yeah. But nothing there. Like
Actually, you do need to go around it to grab a health orb thing.
Okay. But even if you're skipping that and just going from warp point to warp point,
it's a good 2 minutes.
Yeah, imagine if you went to the warp point in Super Mario Brothers, and you jump on top of the bricks there, and you run, and then you drop down, and you see the 3 warp pipes. But the 3 warp pipes are separated by 70 seconds of actually just running on nothing. That's exactly what's happening in this game. And it is so mind-numbingly boring that you're like, I just want to put this game down. I just don't want to play it anymore. I'm sorry. I hate to be negative, but I just was so bored and frustrated by this game.
No, it's good to definitely explain your feelings for it, because everyone else is going to want to know too. I mean, if you're going to pick this up, I'm going to feel for you, because this is going to be a very, very tiresome, frustrating, like I want to smash something kind of experience. Because when you make that teleport into the second area, the game just becomes so open feeling. It's like, okay, I just don't know what I'm doing anymore. I came across this boss for some reason that kicks my bombs back at me, which is very frustrating because I can't kick them back to him again. So you have to kind of kick it and pray, and it doesn't seem to work. So I have to, find some other tactic after another 20 minutes of, experimenting. You found a worm that I haven't found yet, so that's going to be fun when I get to him. Every single room you encounter in this game is just frustration. It's just, okay, you're throwing all the rules that we've already established out. I now have to establish new rules, not in a fun exploratory kind of way, but in a tedious, I have to die 15 times before, okay, you wanted me to just randomly move over here and do this thing. It's not intuitive in any way. It's not clear. It's not even clever in like, I should have been doing that. I should have seen that the whole time. When you finally figure out the solution, you're like, that's stupid. That's just dumb. Why would I have to do that when I've been doing the other thing the whole time? And yeah, God, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just terribly frustrated with this game. So I 15. I can't recommend this.
Yeah, $15. No way. If you are obsessed with these sorts of games with, and you want like a hardcore challenge, and it's not skill level based, but if you want to like really push your brain to the limit, maybe. On sale. Otherwise, honestly, steer clear.
Totally agree. So I guess that's it from both of us. This is probably not a game you want. If you really want to torture yourself, go for it. But you have been warned. With that in mind, back to the main show.
Well, here we go. Last bit of the show here. Well, we might throw some stuff on the end, but this is my bit of the show. It is the contest roundup, and this is a fun one. I always like doing these because it is time to celebrate the winners. But before we get there, I do want to touch on some of the contests over at trueachievements.com. The 12 Days of Christmas is officially all open, all 12 days. You can see what every challenge is. This started on December 1st. We opened up one every day. So now that it's past the 12th, you get to see every single thing that you must do. Now, of course, you have to complete them in order. So you have to start at Challenge 1, then move to Challenge 2, then move to Challenge 3, etc. But you do have the entire month to do it. So keep chipping away, working at it, getting it. All you have to do, it's just great that you participate, but see if you can complete it. That would be wonderful. So challenge number 1, completing a game. Challenge 2 versus achievements. Challenge 3, well, that's 3 achievements with a 3.0 ratio or greater. Challenge 4 is spelling the word Noel, Noel, with 4 different achievements. Number 5 was 5 diamond achievements or rare achievements. Challenge 6 is 6 single-player achievements. 7 is a mini bean dive, where you need to do 7 different games. Of course, you don't have to start those from scratch. They can be any game, but just 7 different games. 8 are your co-op flagged achievements. 9, hitting the action-adventure genre. 10 Gamerscore achievements. 11 main story achievements. And number 12 is a 12 achievement mini leapfrog. That you cannot have consecutive achievements in the same game. So you're going to have to swap up. It's going to be 12 different games, each of increasing TA ratio. So that should be fun. So good luck to everybody who's participating in that. Let us know how you liked it. If you enjoyed it, if it was fun, if you want more of these, how frequently do you want more of these? We're talking about what we're doing for the next upcoming year, trying to plan out our events for 2018. So Planting and I and the rest of the community events team are really looking forward to what we have going on. So a part of that for closing out 2017 is Game of the Year voting. So you can find this on trueachievements.com. You get to vote on your picks for the Game of the Year through the site. It's a bit of a popularity contest, but it's always a good time. We'll do our Game of the Years and our choices, discussions, achievements, things about 2017. Tie a bow on that on Z2Z on the upcoming weeks. Maybe the week after Christmas, maybe earlier. I don't know. We'll see what vacations and stuff line up. But we'll definitely hit one of those in our episodes because then we want to look forward to 2018 and put together some New Year's resolutions, things like that, and go over our 2017 resolutions. Hey, closed circuit, I didn't do very well. We did finish out 2 contests this last week, though. You would have seen them on the websites, and we talked about them in the main show. The GTASC officially over. Monday, this upcoming Monday, GTASC 2018 signups open up. So if you're interested, 2-man teams. Wow, that's exciting. You can find all the details on that. There's some good stuff. So if you're interested, find a buddy and have some fun. There should be a ton of teams. So I'm curious what eliminations are going to look like. And then, but for the 2017 contest, well, the top 2 teams in second place, the Gods Reborn. They earned the 5-man team or the 5-person team, I suppose. Death is Land, Mami, O Nitram, Jorax, and Carnage. Well, they collectively scored 237,000 Gamerscore. Rounded, right? It's not exact, but 237,000 Gamerscore in a week, which amounts to 388,000 TA. Of course, they did end up using 132,000 points in bonuses. Yikes. Well, they got second place. Our first place, with actually less Gamerscore than the group in front of them, is this Team UHH. The team of Jimbot UK, Daniel JJ14, Infamous, Triple Triad 777, and A Demon Within. They scored 192,000 Gamerscore. Only 92,000 in bonuses, but the massive ratios put them up to 555,000 TA. 500,000 TA in a week. So that is pretty darn good. Congratulations, is this Team UHH. As far as the individuals go, well, each one of these was on a team that won, and then our very own Redemption Denied, third place, scored 80,500 Gamerscore, and that was good for 141,000 TA. That's third place. Second place, with nearly 100,000 Gamerscore this week, it was 98,000, which amassed 181,800 TA. Death is Land, yielding to the winner. Jimbot UK scored 87,000 Gamerscore with a huge ratio, which put him up near 200, 192,640. So congratulations. That is fantastic effort for your entire year, and we'll see you in 2018 on the GTASC. We also finished up the UHH. Again, we talked about it on the show because it was over before we recorded. Jam Pound beats Matthias Anderson 20-19. That is it. He is your winner. Congratulations on that one. And that's, well, we talked about it in the show. That's pretty much it. Try and figure out when we're going to run this again next year. We will, but it definitely is going to come back in some iteration, of course. As far as Z to Z community contests. Well, here we go, guys. Random to-do lists. Well, of course, December's lists are up. We've been working hard on them all month so far, but first 2 weeks into the month. But I do have a winner for November. There were 81 people who earned an achievement in the month of November, which collectively, the 81 entrants earned 467 achievements. That is a fantastic turnout. And our winner with 4 achievements unlocked for 1,115 points, a 0.86% chance of winning, Pirate Spirit. I've never met Pirate Spirit, but congratulations, you are the winner. Hopefully this, we can see your continued efforts in the upcoming months. The Gamertag Challenge, the month of December, Miserly Pluto, 459. Well, we have November was a double duty one where we had Chin Doctor and Montana 97. There were 21 people who entered. Everyone had a 5% chance of winning. But Red Hot Sand takes it this month. Congratulations for your November win. And then we also have the Mocas. I don't have the Mocas winner here. I'm going to let you know about December. December's Complex Superiority, where you need progressively increasing gamer score. So it doesn't matter in which order you unlock them, but your gamer score has to continue to go up, and you want the longest chain of increasing gamer scores. So good luck on that one. I want to say a huge congrats to all the people who thus far have completed Fream Hole's Completions Challenge for 2017. There's a list on the forums, forum.z2z.com, of 30 different themes, types of games that you should be playing to unlock the Completions Challenge. Well, we have 4 people so far who have completed. We just added our newest this last week. We had Chin Doctor back in February, Kingsman 2625 in March, Wicked Girl in April, and our 4th completionist, Spooky Hurst, earns it just last week here in December. Congratulations. And so, yeah. And I know they're looking forward very much to the 2018 list. I promise you they're coming. We've got 30 new themes to work on for the month, or for the year of 2018. So keep an eye on the forums. Like I said, forum.z2z.com. That is where it's going to go down. Finally, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons out there. We have officially eclipsed our third tier, and so we are at the point where we are giving away full retail games. You guys did it. We made it. Thank you to all your support, your generosity. It's amazing, the outpouring that we get, and I want to thank you so much. Even though I don't post in the forums as much, I mentioned this in the post that I did make. I'm pretty terrible about thanking all of you, and so I do want to mention we are trying to find ways to pull you into the show more. We want you guys on the show. I'd like to do my game show thing again once we figure out how editing is going to work well, and try and make that work for an upcoming show, because those are super fun. But, and finally, if I missed your name in Discord, because you get your gold name, right, in the official Z2Z Discord server, you gotta let me know, because I gotta do it manually. I couldn't set it up. I'm terribly computer illiterate. So let me know if you're a patron. We'll link up your Discord name with your email address, and so I make sure you guys get credit for that. Finally, you guys want to know who won, right? Well, we did hit it in December, but of course, it's Christmas time. I'm feeling generous, so we are giving away a full game for November, and that goes to, with an 11.5% chance of winning. He is one of our top-tier contributors, Rippin'. Nice job, Rippin'. So we will get you hooked up with a code or something to get you your full game here. But congratulations, Rippin', and thank you so much for your support at such a high level. We appreciate it. You are such a valued member of our team, of our patron community. Of course, all of you are valued members of our patron community. We couldn't do this show without you. So thank you for joining me and helping make this show possible. I love doing it. So you guys let me do my dreams and have fun and get to talk to people in this awesome community. So I just am truly in your debt. So anything we can do to give back, we're trying to. We want to boost up these prizes. We want to, like the completions contest, right? We can give you guys a prize for your, for completing this. It's great. The last thing I want to mention that's part of our Discord channel is our boosting groups. We've got some active boosts going on right now, 3 in particular that are worth noting. Of course, we have generic LFG, where people, especially random to-do list stuff, are really interested in helping each other out, getting those lists taken care of. So if you have any one-offs or you want to trade achievements, that's a great place to do it. We have an awesome community who is willing to help pretty much all the time. But we do have 3 active boosts going on. Tuesday nights is Halo. I think Halo 5 is pretty much wrapped up, and so they'll be moving into Master Chief Collection. But pretty much any of the Halos, I think, are up for grabs if people need to go back and do some stuff in 3 or 4 or whatever. That's available to you. Wednesday nights is Battleborn. We're doing Battleborn with the new private games method, where we can set up some really specific stuff that works really well for boosting these lore challenges. Should make it go a little bit faster, but it'll still be a decent grind. And then finally, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, the first game in that series. The one version cleaned up. They're done. They finished their boost, and so all we have left now is the 360 version that's hosted by myself. We do chat on the one, and then we play on the 360, and, sooner or later we're going to finish up our Gardens and Graveyards and then move on to our 100 kills of all types, and then pretty much just, I think everybody's just going to do Treasure Yetis on their own, or, I don't know. We get you guys some crazy ops, whatnot, but after we finish the 360 version, I believe this crew wants to move right back into the Xbox One version, where we can actually get tracking. Oh my goodness, that would be wonderful. So we're going to kind of guess here for a while on the 360 version, which is going to be miserable, but, it happens. And that'll do it for the show. So, halfway through the month of December, we've got the holidays coming up. Everybody stay safe out there. Thank you so much for listening to our show and to whatever segments we throw here on the end. And we just, again, appreciate everything that you guys do for us. If you're interested in furthering to helping our community that's not Patreon, that's not financially tied, you could always rate us, review us over at iTunes, spread the word on your social medias, wherever it is. Let people know about the show and help us grow. We know you guys are great at that. So with that, I'm taking off. I will catch you guys next week, and I'll catch you guys on the forums. We'll see ya. Have a good one.
What the L with the RTDL?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to What the L. I am Big Al.
And I'm Elroy.
Wow. I want to take this time to say congratulations to Stushniken, my fart barf buddy. He did a bang-up job today, I'm sure of it. And as I usually listen to the podcast on 2.0 speed, he finally sounded normal. Badum Tish. Elroy, I'm sure you wrote some kind of cool thing for this week.
Well, I just wanted to first say that it's a big day for the RTDO. We finally got our own channel on the Discord, on Fream's Discord. It's been a long journey. There's been about 30, 40, 50 possible channels that have come and gone, but I think this was your doing, was it not?
Well, there was some other contest called 3 or something like that. I don't know what that was all about. Something with, I think it was the preloading contest, something like that. So, now we have RTDL.
Yeah, we're moving up in the world. But yes, I did write something, but I have the RTDL update, and let's just jump right in.
Okay.
For the second consecutive week, the top 5 names remain unchanged. In a foil plot I had planned to overtake 5th place Skeptical Mario at the buzzer, but alas, a slippery one he is, for he popped one on the buzzer as well, leaving me out in the cold. So,
Elroy,
yeah.
This is the season of giving. Don't do Skeptical Mario like that. You should be happy for him. Be more merry to that crazy Mario. He's a member of the Z2Z community. Actually, we are family. And isn't this what this season is all about?
Family?
No, beer.
And getting Chivos.
Oh, yeah. That
Rocker Dude's been very busy in the Christmas spirit and has ran away from everyone else in this contest. He so far has a 1G lead over Kahuna and NBA Kirkland and has left them sniffing...
Snorting.
The nose candy.
The booger sugar.
The full combo, as he has just won Halo Wars Chivo from his full 25.
Aren't you the only one with one of those nifty full combos right now?
Hey, you ain't got it yet. Rounding out the top 5 is Cowboy Killer 360 in the 4 spot.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, him. Cowboy Killer suggested we do a list about the hardest achievements. That's
easy. That's easy. Rocker Dude's Evolve Chivo of Bone Jockey.
Boing.
Seriously, he is on to something. Given how boring the top of the list is right now, it is quite the logjam.
Boing.
But he is right. So thus, I give you a list of the top 5 RTDLers who have the highest average ratio. Thus, you take the point total, and then you take the number of pops. I call the points per pop number.
Math?
The end result is RTDL update. Harder than a Bone Jockey edition. Number 5. Veteran bottom dweller Matthew 000 comes in with an upset. His 2.67 average ratio edges out Proulx, who fought very hard for his spot. But alas, he comes from his lone pop in Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City for Choices Aplenty, which coincidentally is an excellent name for his RTDL list given he has 24 more options to go with his next contribution. Number 4, NBA Kirkland has the highest ratio of all the top dogs in this contest. When he ultimately does not win this month, he can hold this moment close to his chest to keep himself warm. That or his copy of the Ezio collection, since that contains the only Chivo left on his list that would actually raise his ratio instead of lower it. Number 3, Marky B. Hoy, 89, comes in third with his 2.94 ratio. Both his pops come from Forza 5, which appears on his list multiple times. I would like to make a suggestion for Marky B. Hoy. Serious here. Marky B. Hoy also has on his list multiple times a game that will change his life. It will be an unforgettable experience like no other. I, of course, am talking about Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Naturally, doing so will propel his ratio, given that nobody actually played that game for more than 15 minutes, and it would propel him into second place on this list that we are talking about, but will likely not ever make an appearance again on What the Hell for, a long time. No offense, Cowboy Killer, but we are talking about Matthew 000 again. If Marky B. Hoy doesn't want to go it alone, he could always play cooperatively with the before-mentioned NBA Kirkland, who, with his copy of the Ezio collection, could rack up obscene amounts of points in Bayek and Kazooie. If that joke went over your head, check out Z to Z Episode of the Year nominee, number 102, The Mule Goat. Number 2, Pirate Spirit gets a RTDL hug from the Chivo, warm embrace from Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. Speaking of which, you can't have space-time without having a spaceman. And you can't say spaceman without saying, thanks, man, to ZZ Urban Spaceman. Pirate Spirit's ratio of over 3 shows why pirates find the RTDL so addictive. You lose your hand and you get hooked. Similarly, his appearance on his RTDL update list will likely find him newfound fame, and someday we shall make a movie about him. It shall be rated RTDL. Number 1, he is back from the sea of ineptness. He floats on the number 1 spot. He was denied soup a week ago, but not this time. Super Bowie finds his way to the top of the chart with a whopping 4.4 ratio, coming mostly from his Sunday Driver Chivo on Project Cars. And by mostly, I mean completely. And by completely, I mean Super Bowie has 1 Chivo for the month. Quality over quantity. Soup over salad. Buoys over sinkers. Regardless, it's time to say some soup for you, and congrats on being the top of RTDL Update, Harder Than a Bone Jockey Edition.
Hey, Elroy, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If they made a Neo Geo version of Banjo-Kazooie, would you buy it?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard-hitting question. $7.99?
Yes, usual price.
2-hour completion?
Definitely.
Oh man, let's play some Banjo-Kazooie.
All right. I have another question for you.
Sure.
Who in the heck is Wildwood Mike?
You feeling some pressure from Wildwood?
Yeah, where did he come from? He's in 7th place.
I assume he's from Wildwood.
I don't know. And as we're recording, it looks like Urban Spaceman jumped in front of Proulx. They swapped the 8th and 9th spot.
Ooh, that's close.
That's a big one. I'm only number 10 with 13 achievements. It's a crazy month. You think our segment has a little bit to do with this sudden push?
Well, I don't know. Could be all this talk about Super Bowie and Matthew 000.
Yeah, yeah, right. So
Well, was there any other feedback this month?
I think
this
we
week?
had some suggestions. Cowboy Killer had a great one. That worked out swimmingly.
Indeed. Also, thanks to Fufu Cuddly Poof for some ideas, even though we didn't use them. Yet.
Yeah. I really don't want to listen to anything that Flat Earther has to say. I think we had one other suggestion for the podcast that came from Skeptical Mario. I promised him we would say goodbye at the end. And
Wait, what? I don't believe that he would want us to actually deviate from one of our gimmicks.
No. We don't want to beat a dead horse on the ZZ podcast. We need to change it up a little bit. All right. So we're getting close to the end. I want to make sure to say...
Awesome.